Odyssey app.
They want answers. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Where are these drones coming from?
New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer has had briefings on the many drone sightings in his state and others in recent weeks and says there does not appear to be an imminent threat, but that the public deserves more information. Fox's Nate Foy.
The FBI is reviewing thousands of tips and reviewing images. The FBI also said yesterday that many of these instances are actually manned aircrafts that are operating lawfully. However, some remain unexplained. And 25 days into this whole thing, people in New Jersey and across the country are just desperate for answers at this point.
Congressman Gottheimer says he's proposing legislation that would give local law enforcement the kind of radar needed for drone detection and the technology to take down a drone if necessary. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in a European hospital for evaluation after an injury.
The former speaker is in Luxembourg with a bipartisan congressional delegation marking the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge. A spokesperson for Pelosi says she sustained an injury during an official engagement and was admitted to the hospital for evaluation. The statement does not detail the injury sustained or how it happened.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Pelosi is 84. Her office says she's continuing to work and looks forward to returning to the U.S. soon. The man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students is fighting to have key evidence kept out of his trial.
Lawyers for Brian Kohberger are filing motions to have evidence tossed from the case that was a result of searches of his belongings, including his home and car, his phone records, and digital accounts, arguing these search warrants cast too wide a net, accusing investigators of an overbroad attempt to build their case.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Prosecutors say their search was sufficiently particular in scope and backed by warrants. Trial set for next August. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast turning cloudy this afternoon, breezy day. High today 41. Clouds and periods of rain tonight toward dawn, low 35. Rain tomorrow, could be some road ponding, high 47. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise clouds, low 41. And then sunshine, a few clouds, and not as cool on Sunday. High Sunday afternoon, 56. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. to help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-296-3315. 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
Count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Valid offer for a limited time, only at participating dealers while supplies last.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Just getting this statement into us, and I want to read part of it because it is a little bit vague. It says, while traveling with a bipartisan congressional delegation in Luxembourg to mark the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi sustained an injury during an official engagement and was admitted to the hospital for evaluation. Pelosi is currently receiving excellent treatment from doctors and medical professionals. She continues to work and regrets that she's unable to attend the remainder of the Codell engagements to honor the courage of our service members during one of the greatest acts of American heroism in our nation's history. It goes on to say Pelosi conveys her thanks and praise to the veterans with gratitude and to the people of Luxembourg for their service in World War II and their roles in bringing peace to Europe. She was personally and officially honored to travel with the distinguished delegation. She says that she looks forward to returning home to the U.S. soon.
It seems like there's a lot of things kind of falling apart right now in the transitionary time. Did I see correctly that Mitch McConnell had another episode? He fell.
He fell, yeah, and he was absent from the Senate yesterday. So
did he go to the podium with his head wrapped, or is that AI?
I couldn't tell. Yeah, I saw that same picture, and I don't know.
I've seen that it was AI.
It looked way too fishy for me.
Me too.
And it looked like the last time he went to the podium to speak. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know why he would go to the podium to speak now, especially after having another medical incident where he fell.
Right. And it was big.
Where did
you
see? Where did you see that it was AI, Brad?
I saw it on Twitter. Somebody said this. I think it was a community notes. The bandages and stuff were added later. This is AI.
Okay, that's the type of thing that I think we're really up against right now.
Right.
To be super diligent on everything that you consume. To always quit. My first assumption is that it's altered in some way. I don't trust much of anything. I was just last night before I was falling asleep going through a thread. Everybody on X wants you to read a thread right now. Why? Because they get bigger payouts with more engagement. So if they
I didn't know that.
Oh yes.
Okay.
If you post something and somebody clicks and reads the comments, views the comments, participates in the comments, when you start creating I find that content to be very interesting at times, but I feel like I can really tell when people are like, well, let's just throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. But it was I don't know. It was some rabbit hole, super conspiratorial, like, here's a thread of proof that the Illuminati is real. And I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. And one of the things that was cited in there was WikiLeaks. It was a Hillary email. And the email was so blatantly awful. And I mean, it was like using words that are in that whole, like, Pizzagate kind of conversation used as code, but they were like using those code words but talking blatantly about the thing that the code words are supposed to cover up. And I'm like, no, in no way, shape, or form would this be a conversation that was like, it wouldn't be 2024 and we're now just seeing, like, that's ridiculous and stupid. So then I go to WikiLeaks. This is how stupid my nights are before I go to sleep, and probably why I have dreams and nightmares. So like last night, I'm laying in bed at 10:30 investigating Hillary's emails on WikiLeaks because
looking for a bombshell.
It's not, well, no. It's not even that. I am 85% sure that it's all baloney sausage, and I want to do the investigative reporting to prove that they're full of crap. And the email was a screenshot of an email, and it had the date, the time, and everything on it. Very easy to go look up, and the email's not in there. And the second that I prove one thing in your thread is wrong, I'm blocking you from my feed. I don't ever want to see you again because I am not here for you to dupe.
Right. And we're in that world now, though, where the AI is so good because that picture, I initially thought, boy, that's a strange picture. Oh, maybe it's AI.
Remember when people were from the left were getting all over Donald Trump for his significantly too large bandage on the ear that almost got shot off of his head?
Yes.
This AI version of a bandage
was even bigger.
Assuming, but we don't know what was under there.
But it's based on real news. That's what's hard.
Yes.
Is that he did fall, and apparently he cut his face and sprained his wrist, according to CNN. And then he also did speak sometime this week, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. He put out a statement, or he said something that people were running with and saying, oh, this was a knock on Donald Trump. So there is real news there, but then people add things to it that are not. So you're just in an era where you have to question everything all the time.
When I'm looking through a thread on X, because I'm genuinely interested in a case that someone's trying to make, and sometimes the thread is like, the unequivocal best dogs in movies ever, a thread. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
I'll bite.
I'm in.
It's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. What else do I have to do? But other times it's more consequential things, and I want to learn and know about it. And like I said, I will go in and very quickly find something that I think to be easily verifiable, and then go. And if I verify that, okay, they're right here, I'm going to go further, and I'm going to look into it a little bit more. We have to do the same thing here. Because if we report to you that Mitch McConnell gave some sort of something, press briefing or whatever, and he had this huge bandage on his head because we were duped, we lose credibility.
Right.
And it's, I think, a huge challenge that we're facing right now with artificial intelligence being so good. And when we talk about artificial intelligence being so good, it's like watching all of these 80s and 90s movies that I've been watching with my kids, remembering when they were released and being in awe of the dinosaurs and how realistic they look. And then going back with my kids, and my kids are like laughing at the movie.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be like in 20 years, in 30 years, when it's deceiving right now?
What's it going to be like next year?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is something that in the span of us even doing this show has become a major issue that, 3 years ago, you thought, oh, maybe some things would be doctored, but you could tell. You could, and we're still in an era where you can kind of pick it up. Within a couple of years, you're not going to be able to know if anything is real. I just watched a movie last night called Viral that's on, I think, Hulu, and it's about a worm flu that's like a zombie kind of movie.
Ew.
I had to look it up when it was made because it has Barack Obama speaking in it. And I thought, well, I don't know when this was made. Maybe it's supposed to be now, but it was back, take place back then. Barack Obama speaking in it. They had to have used real clips because it was made in 2016. But that's why you look up the year, because if it's in 2016, they didn't have this technology yet. Now they do.
Well, do you remember in Forrest Gump, they did that with John F. Kennedy. They went back.
Yes, and that looks bad now.
It looks awful now. But I remember seeing that the first time. I was like, wow. Same thing with the feather.
When you're watching yourself, I think what we have right now, like with the bandage and Mitch McConnell, what I have right now is a hunch. I think the hunch is prevalent. You're scrolling, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know about that. that meter is different for everybody. I'm going to tie this in here to something that we haven't talked about yet.
At this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities, we have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace.
Yeah, nothing to see here. These are not the drones you're looking for. We've heard it all. May I present to you not the Iran-China option, not the it's our own U.S. government option, not the aliens option. May I present to you what if these are the robots?
Oh, the robots themselves have become sentient?
What if the artificial intelligence is now airborne?
Oh, no. That wasn't an option yesterday, so it can't be true.
It can't. That is not artificial or intelligence.
All he's saying is, here's what we're pretty sure it's not. They're not saying at all what it is. I mean, they'd say, well, there's some aircraft that
he says
manned,
that it's not foreign. There's no evidence of any foreign. And I'm like, go talk to your congressmen who say that there is evidence. I mean, clearly there's some conflicting information out there. What is Van Drew and I think it was Gonzalez from Texas? What do they have to gain by being like, no biggie, mothership in the water off the coast of our eastern seaboard from Iran launching drones into the country? That's not the same thing as saying, you know, Iran is pretty ticked at us, and Iran is really not comfortable with the idea that Donald Trump is about to be the president again, and they might not want what's best for us. No, they're saying mothership off the eastern seaboard, launching drones over New Jersey, which, again, sounds like a Christmas song. Drones over New Jersey.
Is that a slow song in your head, or is that more of a banger?
Romantic.
Okay.
Slow jam.
Okay.
The night lights.
Because I'm singing Bombs Over Baghdad.
Yeah.
Drones over New Jersey.
I don't think that's what it is.
Not the same thing.
No.
This
I think the one you heard was fake.
I don't think there is a real song. I think we're back to the AI.
That's what they want you to think.
The suggestion, and maybe these Congress people have been duped too, you know, and they're getting false information. That's possible. But the suggestion that I keep hearing people go, how could this be Iran? Iran wouldn't want to ruffle the feathers right now. Iran has been on the terror watch list as being a conspirator that wants to assassinate the president.
Yes,
they just hacked his phone.
Hostile.
Yeah. I mean, within 2 months, they have hacked into President Trump's personal database or whatever that is. So they're very actively doing things right now. That's actually why I chose them yesterday in the poll.
Iran, China?
Iran, China, yeah.
Yeah. I just wondered to myself, I think I thought of that while we were driving in. I'm just like, what if it's the robots? Dang it. That's not a fun Christmas.
Well, at least they're just still in the gathering information phase.
I don't know.
They haven't started attacking yet.
Gotta wait for the eyes to start flickering and then.
Minneapolis is that the most Midwestern we've heard of them?
That I've heard, yeah.
But other than that, Jersey, Connecticut, New York, maybe a little bit.
And the Minneapolis thing wasn't much. You know, there was a report that people had seen them. A friend of mine who lives there reported, yes, I did see it. That's why I looked it up. But other than that one report, it's more centered on New Jersey, apparently.
It's your robot overlords.
And I, for one, want to be on the record as welcoming them.
Mm-hmm.
I was on your side the whole time, robots. You know this.
Do you think you could sweet talk them? Do you think you can sweet talk a robot? You think you can sell the idea that you're on their side?
Here's the thing. Nobody can sweet talk a robot. A robot's got its own agenda.
Would you try?
I would just try to make it clear that I was not a threat to them. Like, look, I'm not doing anything over here. We're just growing some potatoes in our backyard.
Are you growing potatoes in your backyard?
I will be soon. I just want to stay out of your way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to I don't want to become your pet. You know, we're not doing that. But I'm definitely not, you know, if you're going to go ahead and like scorched earth, just leave Collinsville alone.
Skip the ketchup bottle.
Yeah.
The Anti-Fry YouTube live chat poll for our Friday the 13th is, which of our favorite Christmas movies is the best? So everybody has their favorite Christmas movie, of course. And I think it's interesting whenever you talk about favorite Christmas movies, there are different reasons why you appreciate different Christmas movies. So it might be your favorite Christmas comedy. It might be your most sentimental one. In my experience, I have like a favorite one that I have with my family, but it's not necessarily my overall favorite. So we have the 4 listed here, and I think we'll try to get through the show without saying whose is whom.
Okay.
So the 4 that we have listed here, and this is Brad, Ethan, Ryan, and myself, all of our favorite picks. We need to know which one do you think is the best? And if you go to the Anti-Fry YouTube live chat in our live broadcast right now, Anti-Fry YouTube channel, you can vote. Here are the 4 options, our 4 favorite Christmas movies. Home Alone, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, and It's a Wonderful Life. Which, is A Christmas Story considered a comedy? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Consider it a comedy, yeah.
Let me just confess that I've never seen it.
A Christmas Story.
I've never seen it. I might try to watch it this year. Last year I watched Die Hard.
I'd be interested to see what you'd think about Christmas Story, having never seen it now in 2024.
Is it going to be slow?
No, it's not slow. It's just, and I've said this before about A Christmas Story, it's a very unique movie in that it doesn't have any sort of driving force behind it. It's just a bunch of scenes. There's no real, movement toward
Plot
an
thread.
end. Yeah.
I guess I just gave away that A Christmas Story isn't mine.
You kind of did.
A lot of people are very offended that I've never seen it before. They're reacting quite aggressively towards me. I'm sorry, it wasn't personal. Doug says, A Christmas Story is considered terrible.
Oh, really, Doug?
Oh, really, Doug?
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
You know, this is going to be an interesting case study with you, though, because almost everybody's seen this movie. But it has aged differently than if you first saw it in the 80s or the 90s.
Well, you'll have to explain that to me later because I don't really know what that means, but also I haven't seen it yet. So
okay.
Quick Rick says Christmas Story is a timepiece. So is that a compliment? I think that's a compliment.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get your votes. Anti-Fry YouTube live chat poll. Well, Ethan's outing himself right now here, so he's...
Whoops.
All right, Ethan, thank you for that. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about the headlines that are hitting right now. We've got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I'm also going to talk at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about Caitlyn Clark. Haven't talked about her yet. She is Times Athlete of the Year? We're going to discuss the big discussion around Caitlyn Clark. Boy, she cannot get away from the news headlines, can she? We'll talk about that at 1 o'clock and more news headlines when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Honesty, integrity, humility, purpose. We're looking for people that share these values. As an officer in the Springfield, Missouri Police Department, you'll train in a state-of-the-art facility, learn special skills, and most importantly, learn that being humble through it all builds a better community. Our next training academy starts soon. Work hard and dedicate yourself to the craft, and I promise you'll have some amazing opportunities. Visit gospd.com for more information. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Hey, it's Trisha here, wishing you a happy holiday season. Thank you to the entire 97.1 family for another wonderful year. I'm grateful for all of you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Used to spend my nights out in ballroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known.
I've never sat at a bar and just drank because I was sad.
There's something real romantic about that, though.
Oh, it's not, but I would do that if this song were playing.
I kind of want to do that right now, just
Let's
because
go.
the song's
See
playing.
Come on, Ethan, get in here and run the
But we'd
board.
have to all go to separate bars.
Yeah, I know.
So
We'll just talk to each other.
Different ends of the bar.
we'll still do the show, but just by Zoom.
Can't you just see the shot in the movie of Ryan Wiggins sitting at the end of the bar by himself, staring into his Tennessee whiskey, forlorn, hat on backwards, beard all disheveled.
A couple of guys come in after work. They're like, man, I bet that guy's seen some things. And I'm listening to everything because I'm just basically there for the image.
The bartender there polishing the glass.
Yep.
I'm mostly thinking of Randy Quaid at the bar in Independence Day.
A lot of your
Did they do
life and
things to
mine
you?
revolve around Independence Day.
It's a great movie.
It is a
So
good
many
movie.
things were better then.
It's true.
When presidents were Republican.
Was he a Republican in that movie?
Go down the rabbit hole. Do yourself a favor. Especially on Reddit, there are whole threads on whether or not what was his name?
Bill Pullman.
No, his name is Bill Pullman.
Yeah, I don't
but
remember what his
president,
name
I'll
is.
come up with it by the end of the show. Whether or not he was Republican or Democrat. We're gonna find this. I gotta write this down so I don't forget to do it, because the things that people on Reddit use to surmise that he's Republican, I'm like, well, that's kind of true.
Wait. Are they casting their current, state of politics onto him then?
It's not from Reddit in 1996.
So they're not saying like the politics at the time would suggest.
I'll find it.
Okay.
We'll discuss it in the 2 o'clock hour.
We better now.
And we'll determine if it tracks.
Okay.
And by the end of me reading Reddit, which I enjoy doing, I learn more from Reddit about society and culture than maybe anywhere else collectively. This is not an endorsement for anybody to go read Reddit because, like, buckle up. But I think that the president, they made a pretty good case that he was Republican. We're talking about the drones a little bit. We've talked about them a lot. The thing about the drones that really frustrates me the most, I think, is how we are nationally just like, well, I guess nobody knows. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. There's no, like, outrage. There's no actual outrage that the powers that be aren't convincing us that they've taken control of the situation.
If I were liberal right now, I would say, look, if our government was just a little bit bigger, we'd know. So all we need is a little bit more funding.
And if I were conservative, I'd say I think the government's big enough and it's probably flying over the skies and over New Jersey right now, and they should be held accountable to the American people with some truth and honesty.
Well, that's misogyny.
What?
I'm a liberal.
Word of the day.
Oh, remember.
Racist.
Yeah.
You mentioned it yesterday, but it definitely has that Chinese spy balloon feel about it where it's like, come on, guys. You already know. We know you know. Just tell us what you know.
Every day that passed when the Chinese balloon was flying over, it was like the country figured out what was going on, and then the government reported some version of what they said the day after everybody was saying it. They're like, well... And then we didn't we shoot a missile at it over the Atlantic Ocean?
Yes.
And didn't we miss once?
Ooh, I don't remember that.
I don't know if it was one or two. Yeah, they were inert missiles.
No, I think we missed once.
Yeah, they were inert missiles. They didn't have an explosive warhead on them, but they were
just sent to like pierce
fly
it.
through it. Yeah, because it was up too high to use guns.
This is you're right. It's very reminiscent of the Chinese spy balloon in that we're going, why did it take a random news crew in Montana for you to find out and tell us, well, we did know. We just didn't want to say anything. Yeah, okay. Thank you for not saying anything.
Did you shoot it down?
It went over
the
half the country already. And then people claiming that, well, this just shows that China is way ahead. No. This does not show that. If they need to find out something from above, like from a balloon or a drone that they can't get from a satellite, I think we're doing okay.
We have satellites.
Yeah.
Has Trump said anything about them?
I don't think so.
That's interesting to me. Because to me, if he wanted to, now granted, he's acting very much so as the president. He is the president-elect, but he is acting very presidential and going around the world and talking to world leaders and being contacted by world leaders, and world leaders are coming to him at Mar-a-Lago. Normally, this would be an opportunity for him to call out the ineptitude of the people involved, the question about the powers that be that could be involved in this situation. Normally, he would say something about it. I find it interesting that he's not talking about it. If it were something, I can think of a lot of reasons why he might not be talking about it. I think the most likely thing that is going on here, the most likely outcome is that there is a government contractor who is doing something, testing something, and it could even involve testing American response to the visual of this. But I have a feeling that the United States government is doing its plausible deniability thing where they're like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, how stupid could we possibly be if it's a foreign country and we're out there saying we have no idea? But then again, that's what's publicly what happened with the Chinese spy balloon. So in my mind, I'm like, that's not possible that our government would be reacting in this way. But we have a very recent case study in them doing exactly that thing. And then later finding out, again, I point out, they watched the thing launch from China. Our intelligence saw it launch from China. Mm-hmm. We saw it over Alaska, right? Didn't it come over like around Alaska? And
I think they said that they had followed it, yeah.
So they knew the whole time. People in Montana are like, hey, let's shoot that thing out of the sky. What the heck is that? And they're like, oh, we don't know. We have no idea. And then it gets all the way across the coast. It came over here.
Mm-hmm.
It came over the central part of the country. Lord knows what it did. And we just watched publicly the ineptitude. We have no idea what they're doing behind the scenes. It makes the most sense to me that there's some sort of contractor that's involved with the government where in many cases in our top secret industries that the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. The right hand knows everything that the right hand is doing but has no idea what the left hand is doing. And if they talk too much in any regard about this, I think the difficulty will be navigating the public face of what is being viewed right now without potentially a house of cards falling down in our top secret industries. And then also, how does the American government explain to the American people that they have flown drones over people's homes, businesses? That's what I think is the most likely outcome.
That's not a bad outcome, although it does show that our government needs to be on the same page, because if you have one agency doing something that other agencies don't know about, then
I don't want anybody to know everything top secret that our government is doing, though.
Well, when you listen to John Kirby, though, talk about because that was John Kirby in the clip we opened the show, right? When you listen to him, now who knows what spin he's putting on it. But if you just take him at his word, this sounds like it's a hobbyist, like a New Jersey Aviation Society has been sending up drones or something.
I do not take John Kirby at his word.
I don't either.
I think John Kirby is the best communications professional in the Biden administration, which means he knows how to make us think what they want us to think without telling us whole lies.
Yeah.
And them using him is a tell. They send him out when it's important stuff.
There are other things, obviously, that are going on right now, and I want to hit on some of these other headlines that are upon us. I think that the DOGE concept, I find it to be important for us to be paying attention to where this goes, and I have huge and high expectations for it. And, we've reported on that. It's 429 agencies that they said they think they can get down to 99. That's going to have an enormous impact economically on our government, but also what gets pulled out. Like, what kind of government subsidy are you benefiting from right now that you have no idea you're benefiting from? Brad, you could probably explain a little bit better, like ethanol, like the E85 gas.
Yeah, E85 gas is 85% alcohol derived from corn mixed with 10%, or what would that be, 15% gasoline. That whole industry is subsidized by the government.
Is it cheaper to make that gas than it is other gasoline?
I don't think it's cheaper to make it. I think it's about the same price, but it's not as there's not as much energy in ethanol as there is in gasoline. So a gallon of ethanol doesn't contain as much energy as a gallon of gasoline. And so therefore it's not a great fuel for cars.
How does it affect your car?
It can be corrosive if your car isn't built for it. Also, to get the most efficiency out of it, your car has to have different engine settings. So you don't want to use E85 if you don't have an E85 capable vehicle. If you don't, you're going to damage your engine severely. But if you do, you're going to get worse gas mileage when you use it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that sometimes E85 can be cheaper. I don't even know. Is it still cheaper?
Oh, yeah.
It's still cheaper?
Oh, yeah.
But it's not cheaper. It's the government is using funds that and remember, the government has no money until they take it from a taxpayer. It's being made to look more affordable so people participate in it. Now, I can understand the benefit of investing in progress to an extent, but like, what are the end goals here? If it's some sort of green energy source that's actually ruining our cars as we use it, is not cheaper to manufacture, and in some way, shape, or form is not going to be, I remember that one congressional or Senate hearing where they're like, how much will this bazillion dollars of investment lower the temperature of the earth? And they're like, we don't have a number. And I think it was Kennedy was like, is it like 2 degrees? Is it 3 degrees? Is it a half a degree? And they're like, we have no idea. And it's like, so we're going through all of this for no target outcome. Milk is something I know that aren't milk prices very much so affected by government involvement in making sure that it doesn't get overpriced or that it is price controlled a little bit? I know that, of course, there's farming across the country that people are paid to not farm their fields to keep prices where they need to be. There's just a ton of government involvement in things that when you go get your gallon of milk off the shelf, you're not thinking about the government's participation in that process. When you're putting gas in your car, maybe more so there than other places, but how much does the government participation in where we drill or how we drill or who we don't allow to drill or who we don't subsidize, where we get our gasoline from or our oil from? The government is pushing buttons on all of these things in our lives. And if DOGE goes in there and makes a measurable difference, maybe it bubbles up to the surface somewhere in a way that we didn't expect it really to. Peter Thiel was commenting on this with Piers Morgan, and I think people are questioning, and I haven't even really, I've been so hyped about this that I haven't probably properly questioned it. Like, what if this turns into a total bust? Everybody, it's like the pep rally before the game. Everybody's super hyped, faces are painted, everybody's ready to go, let's go DOGE. And then they get there and like, oh, this is way more intricate and complicated and interwoven than we thought. We can't do nearly what we thought we could.
That's my fear. That's my biggest fear, is that they will be able to do some things like get rid of goofy electronic vehicle mandates and, some things like that. But they won't make the dent that we need them to make.
Well, this is what he said with Piers Morgan.
Strong consensus view in the D.C. establishment is that this is going to go nowhere, that it's just absolutely impossible to fix things. And this is, it's going to be sort of a very, very frustrating dead end. The alternate view, I would say, is you should never bet against Elon. We all know there's an extraordinary amount of waste, and it is unsustainable. And the 6% of GDP deficits that the U.S. has cannot be sustained. They probably cannot even be sustained for even the rest of this decade. There are two ways to resolve them. You can cut spending and cut waste, or you can raise taxes massively. And I take this election in the U.S. for standing for the proposition we're not going to go the European-style socialist route of having massive tax hikes. And then that suggests, you need to try something like the DOGE thing, and that's actually what is going to happen.
So when he makes the comment that people in D.C., like the common understanding in D.C. is this is not going to happen. That's cute. That you think you're going to come in here and you're going to cut all of this spending, and that Vivek and Elon are strutting around D.C. and getting ready to be the big man on campus who's going to make all of these changes. Like D.C. is like, oh, please. But you've got Peter Thiel there saying that while that is the case, don't bet against Elon Musk. And Elon Musk retweeted this comment from Peter. And I think he said something like no lies detected or something like that. When he was saying, Elon Musk was acknowledging that DC thinks that they're full of baloney. Well, but that also Elon Musk should not be bet against.
And Washington always does this. Donald Trump, give me a break, like he could be elected. This is the way DC always reacts. So I don't believe them a bit. I just am worried that our expectations are too high for how much we can cut and how quickly.
Well, just even the conversation of cutting spending is a huge step in the right direction. So it'll be interesting to follow, of course. And I like that Elon Musk knows that people are doubting him significantly. That, to me, feels like fuel, so to speak, on a fire to get the job done. All right, quick break. When we come back, Be or Not the Bee, you ready?
Be or Not the Bee. Got a lot of stories today.
All right, there were some that I sent you that I told you were not allowed to do.
There's a bunch this week that I was like, whoa, okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, it's getting a little spicy over there at the Babylon Bee. We will come back with Wiggins America in our Friday edition of the Be or Not the Bee, where you and Brad and I decide whether or not these are real stories or satire from the Babylon Bee. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
But when you pulled out your heart, I didn't.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. And you're a smooth Tennessee whiskey.
We're winding down the year. We're in the holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. With the end of the season coming, also means next year there's mandates. Again, government mandates. You don't need to go with a ridiculously high-end, so-called, I'm doing this air quotes, efficiency. The minute you hear the term efficiency, call me. I'll help you out. Common sense approach with common sense explanation on what works best for your house and your budget. So call me, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Remember, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The only number, 314-293-2600. That's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how, learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team and get educated now at Lifestyles Unlimited. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for just $297. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is which of our favorite Christmas movies is your favorite among Home Alone, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, and It's a Wonderful Life. Let us know. We're not telling you which is which. You just got to vote, and then we'll tell you who is associated with which movie. Also, just a reminder that we have one more pack of Cardinals tickets to give away today. We'll probably do that in the 2 o'clock hour, so stick around. It is 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hi, this is Hans von Spakovsky, and I'm a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. When I was a kid, I and my friends would actually go to our neighbors' houses and sing Christmas carols, and I wish more people were still doing that today.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
You would even say it glows. I love the other reindeer.
You got Hans von Spakovsky saying Merry Christmas to all and talking about singing Christmas carols and how he really misses that. And then this song comes on, and I thought Ryan put these together. I thought Ryan did this to Hans von Spakovsky.
I'm not above that.
But you acted like, Annie, come on, would I do that? And I'm like, you darn right you would.
Yeah, I might. From going into that into the Creed version of Rudolph, like this is what Hans remembers from his childhood. It is still kind of funny.
Yeah, it's something else. I've only ever heard that song on our show, but I got to get it in my Spotify rotation. Before we get to the be or not the be, I want to give you guys an update report here locally in St. Louis. Fox2now.com is reporting that prosecutors have formally filed charges against at least one suspect in the murder of Colin Brown. That teenager fatally shot on I-55 last month in St. Louis while riding back from a hockey game with his father. The St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office filed charges Friday morning against 26-year-old Garrett Jordan. According to court documents obtained by Fox 2, Jordan was charged with first-degree murder, 3 counts of armed criminal action, first-degree assault, and unlawful use of weapon in the investigation. Court documents did not immediately indicate if Jordan has been arrested. I think that he has been arrested maybe since the publishing of this, but we are going to, well, that started at 12:16 was when it was last updated. So we will keep you updated on that. There's supposed to be a press conference at 1:30. We're going to listen into that here in the studio and give you the highlights of that after it happens. So charges filed. They have a suspect, 26-year-old Garrett Jordan, and if they can prove that he is guilty, I hope he rots.
No comment. Additional needed.
No additional comment or no comment?
No additional comment needed.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the B or not the B.
Wiggins.
Oh, Wiggins.
The B or not the B.
All right, as usual, these are headlines. Some of them are from the Babylon Bee, which would make them satire. Some of them are real. I'll read the headline. You got to tell me which is which. First one, celebrities flee to Canada only for Trump to annex it.
That's the B.
That is the B.
The B.
That was pretty easy. Quote, this can't be happening.
Oh, come on.
Meryl Streep reportedly said upon hearing the news, he's going to force me to get pregnant. Quote, all those
Meryl Streep. Yeah, that's happening.
All those celebrities, all terrible and untalented, by the way, are Americans again, Trump posted on Truth Social. I have taken Canada as America's 51st state. They now live in MAGA country, which is the best country, even if they don't know that. They don't have to thank me, but I'll still say, you're welcome, celebrities. That was Donald Trump speaking at the end there, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I could.
All right, next one. Canada decides to confiscate guns and send them to Ukraine.
Ooh.
That's possible.
This is real.
I can't believe it. The B.
Brad is correct.
Oh, that's terrible.
This is a real story. Canada recently banned 324 different kinds of firearms. Next on the agenda after banning them is to confiscate and gather them up and then offer them to Ukraine. Mm-hmm. They have until October 2025 to turn in their guns to the authorities. It is just amazing that the irony is completely lost on them doing that.
I heard that they're trying to do that because they're afraid that Trudeau's government is going to collapse and that the conservative government's going to come in and just make it go away.
I've not heard that, but okay. That's an amazing story.
All in favor? Aye.
Again, no further comment. Agree with what has been said. Next one. Ray Epps announces resignation from FBI. I know.
I guess I'll say the B.
It is the B. Epps said it was important to retire now and preserve his pension before he was forced out by Trump and lost it all. FBI Director Christopher Wray, who is also stepping down at the end of the Biden administration, praised Ray Epps for the incredible work he's done turning Americans against each other. No. Quote, without Epps, America would be a downright peaceful place, he said. We owe him a debt of gratitude.
I want to know that story. I want to know specifically if we could prove one way or the other that Ray Epps was involved or wasn't involved. He's the name of it. Like he's the face of what people assume happened and have denied that happened. So let's get to the facts of the matter.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Again, yes. Let's agree and move on. Now. Let's not be so hasty to find and assassinate everyone responsible for the healthcare crisis, says nervous Obama.
Say that one again.
Now, let's not be so hasty to find and assassinate everyone responsible for the healthcare crisis, says nervous Obama.
The
B.
It is the B. A visibly sweating Obama reminded people not to jump into hunting down and killing everyone who might be considered responsible for causing the terrible state of American healthcare. Quote, now, let's not get carried away here, said Obama, tapping the floor faster and faster as an eyebrow inadvertently twitched. Surely the answer here isn't more violence.
Don't you think that Barack Obama's brand is dramatically tarnished right now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's going to be tough to figure out who's in charge now. There's probably a whole lot of behind the scenes people figuring out where's the money going now. Is it still to the Obama camp? Because he had clearly been in charge of things for so long.
Well, and we don't know what happened in the background. So who was responsible for pushing Joe Biden out? Who was responsible for pushing Kamala Harris in? It seems to me like Barack Obama probably had a percentage of responsibility in both of those things, and they both went dramatically wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if he would have had his way, it would have probably looked a little bit different. But at the same time, he had his way to an extent. It just, Biden wasn't out in time. And Kamala Harris, I still think that Kamala Harris got the nomination because Joe Biden was like, fine. Or Jill.
I do too.
Because
I really do.
Who hates Kamala Harris the most?
Doug Emhoff.
Jill.
Jill Biden.
Jill. No, I think Doug has been riding that wave for quite some time. Jill detests Kamala Harris. So she grabbed Joe's phone. I don't even know if Joe has a phone. If she grabbed the phone with the account on it and tweeted that out, oh, man.
That is
You
the
can't
most
undo it.
likely scenario.
I
too.
can't wait to read that book.
Yeah. And well, more and more people are saying that behind the scenes, like, yeah, that is really kind of what happened. All right, next one. Liberals sadly wish each other happy holidays one last time before Trump makes it punishable by death.
Oh, I guess the bee. You have one real story today? That's it.
Yes, that is the bee. Happy holidays, a tearful Sarah Stone said, holding her children tight. I love you, and I just want to tell you happy holidays before it's too late, before Trump gets us all. Though Trump has been silent on the matter, liberals are already preparing for the inevitable day the phrase happy holidays is replaced with the dark Christian nationalist greeting, Merry Christmas.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
The horrors. All right, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to I want to get to some of the things that I missed throughout the week. There's so much news coming in, and it's not as much the huge stories. Remember during the campaign where it was like one big bombshell after the other when Donald Trump was in a new court case every day, and then the Hunter Biden stuff and all the election stuff and presidents stepping down and vice presidents reluctantly maybe stepping in. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and it's not quite the bombshell roller coaster that it has been before, but a lot of interesting things to talk about. So we'll get to the things I missed throughout the week. Plus, we've got Ask Us Anything. Next question coming up at 1:25. If you have questions for us, leave them in the comments. We'll be right back.
Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. Find the best deals on the Hardee's app. Items available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows. Parker McCollum, Chaffetz Arena, February 14th. Thomas Rhett, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, May 29th. Rod Stewart, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, August 15th. Goo Goo Dolls, St. Louis Music Park, August 21st. And Lincoln Park, Enterprise Center, August 23rd.
For tickets and info, hit up livenation.com.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
If you're looking for all the comforts of home plus some in a senior living community, check out Hampton Manor of Wentzville, just off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. They'll even treat you to lunch. Set up your appointment today and tell them Mark Cox sent you. WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com. Or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Our goal at Neovite is to make supporting your nutrition as easy as possible. That's why we created the Neovite monthly subscription. Just go to neovite.com, choose your multivitamin, Sign up and we will do the rest. You'll receive your Neovite multivitamin every month with no long-term obligation. You can pause or cancel at any time and shipping is free. Each Neovite multivitamin includes our physician-formulated proprietary blend for nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Start supporting your nutrition the easy way with Neovite multivitamins. Sign up for a Neovite subscription today at neovite.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The president, Elisa Brady, Fox News. That's the latest step taken by New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, asking for more federal resources to understand drone sightings in his state. Over several weeks now, there have since been sightings in several other states, including New York. Fox's Eben Brown.
What appears to be fleets of drones were now spotted flying above New York City from over LaGuardia Airport in Queens to farther west in the skies of Staten Island.
And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
Vito Fossella is the borough president. Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis says the U.S. military's lack of explanation is unsettling.
What really would concern, I think, everyone, there's a foreign government that is doing this type of activity and surveillance.
So far, the federal government has said there's no evidence of any threat as the FBI and Homeland Security investigation continues. New Jersey's governor also writing to congressional leaders. Counter-drone authority set to expire next week. He's urging lawmakers to pass legislation allowing state and local authorities to use advanced detection and mitigation technologies. A Texas prosecutor sending a message by announcing she will seek the death penalty for 2 illegal immigrants if they're convicted in the murder of a 12-year-old girl.
We want the message out there that regardless of who you are, but especially if you are illegally in this country, that you will face the same consequences as anyone else.
Harris County DA Kim Ogg says Jocelyn Nungary was lured under a bridge, raped and strangled. The suspects indicted on capital murder charges are from Venezuela. Still no sign of missing American journalist Austin Tice in Syria after the fall of the Assad regime. Sister Naomi telling Fox News she's hoping the U.S. government can bring him home.
We're asking for our current administration, but we also know that President-elect Donald Trump can also support bringing Austin home, and so we're actively asking that he do so as well.
America's listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast turning cloudy this afternoon, breezy day. High today 41. Clouds and periods of rain tonight toward dawn, low 35. Rain tomorrow, could be some road ponding, high 47. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise clouds, low 41. And then sunshine, a few clouds, and not as cool on Sunday. High Sunday afternoon, 56. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home matters, especially in this changing market. We all know a few realtors, including me, but I only recommend one realtor. Mark Cox here. For the past several years, I've gotten to know Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different, guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed-to price or Gloria will buy it. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Check this out. After 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheeler family's home. With no more time to waste, they decided to give Gloria Liu a call. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of listing price because Gloria already had the buyers. The agent you choose to sell your home really matters. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Well, here it is, the 13th of December, and if you are kind of making late plans and you haven't figured out where you're going to do some Christmas dinners, maybe people coming in from out of town, or you want to treat them even as a gift, Andrea's Steakhouse is a great place to do that. You've heard me talking about how good the food is there. If you've eaten there, you already know, but if you never have, make a trip, make it an event. Go to Andrea's Steakhouse, whether you live in Illinois or Missouri, and you will not regret it, especially around the holidays. Taking people from out of town is a great, great idea and a great gift idea. While you're there, you can pick up the Andrea's Sauce gift pack. That includes the Andrea's steak sauce that they're so famous for since 1978, their new barbecue sauce, and their salad dressing, which really I don't talk about enough. It's very underrated. It's very, very good, their house salad dressing. So regardless of what you're looking for Christmas or what your plans are, make Andrea's a part of it. Follow them on Facebook. They have events all the time, too, some wine tastings and things. It's a lot of fun. Andreas.com.
Hey, St. Louis, are you in search of top-notch cybersecurity solutions? Look no further. ThrottleNet is here to help. Ransomware attacks are on the rise, putting businesses like yours at risk. Don't let cyber criminals jeopardize your hard-earned success. ThrottleNet provides comprehensive cybersecurity services tailored specifically to your unique needs. Our award-winning customer service provides 24/7 protection to keep your data safe and secure. Take charge of your digital security today. Protect your business, protect your future. ThrottleNet.com, your reliable partner in cybersecurity.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Beast Plumbing, and if you need a new water heater like today, maybe it just went out, send them a picture of your water heater for an estimate, and you could have same-day service. Call 314-500-LEAK and find them online at BEISplumbing.com.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
We're meeting with Republicans and in this case Democrats because there's nothing political about national security. So we are working office by office throughout this process, advise and consent with senators, and we look forward to meeting with Senator Fetterman right now.
What do you plan on telling him? Because he's open.
We're going to have a great conversation.
So Pete Hegseth talking about meeting with both Republicans and Democrats in the Senate as he goes to try to earn the confirmation of the Senate to become the defense secretary in Donald Trump's cabinet. That will all happen after he's inaugurated.
All I can say is we've had a wonderful first week on the Hill, meeting with so many great senators, almost 20 of them. It has been a humbling process to receive their advice during the consent and advice process, and I'm looking forward to continuing that during the confirmation process as I learn every day as I go. And I'm thrilled to be President Trump's nominee for the director of the FBI. And I'm very excited to see Senator Ted Cruz, who is one of the most brilliant constitutional minds we have.
So Kash Patel, the FBI director nominee, saying that he feels that they've had a very good first productive week on the Hill.
Listen,
here's Senator Coons.
Are you going to vote to confirm Marco Rubio as Secretary of State?
I may very well. I've known Senator Rubio for 14 years. We've served on the Foreign Relations Committee together. We've legislated together. We've traveled together. I was just talking with him yesterday. I have not had a formal interview with him yet. We haven't gone through the confirmation process yet. I will do that with every one of the nominees who's in the jurisdiction of the committees on which I serve, and as many as I can. And I think that's just part of our job in the Senate, to meet with nominees, to ask them probing questions. And as was the case last time, where they are qualified, they have the right character, and I can support them in terms of what they intend to do with the agencies they're nominated to lead, I will vote for them.
So Senator Coons saying that he very well might vote for Marco Rubio. If that, I can't think of a reason why Marco Rubio shouldn't have 99 votes in the Senate.
No, he should sail through.
Will his his replacement won't be there until he's nominated because he won't vacate the seat until he's been approved. So I suppose there are 99 votes for him to be able to win. But like, ladies and gentlemen of the United States Senate, you're going to get a more diplomatic guy or girl appointed by Donald Trump than Marco Rubio? I mean, there are even Republicans who think he's not conservative enough. I love him. I've loved him since he ran in the primary when he was little Marco to everybody. I was a huge Marco Rubio fan. I still think he's great. I know he still looks a little too swampy for people, but I think that those individuals who have just written Marco Rubio off from the beginning, you are leaning a little too heavy into your Donald Trump or nothing support that started in the 2016 primary. And you're not realizing that Donald Trump likes Marco Rubio now. Like, Marco Rubio is the nominee for Secretary of State in Donald Trump's cabinet. Marco Rubio has come a long way in the Trump sphere, and he has a lot to bring to the table. He's different than Donald Trump, but he is an asset to Donald Trump, and Trump knows that.
And this is a layup for Democrats. There's no reason they shouldn't vote for this nomination, because if they do have a problem with somebody else, they can say, look, I'm bipartisan. I voted for Marco Rubio, and he's the perfect person to do that.
Yeah, I can understand. I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was Lloyd Austin. Two people didn't vote for him. One of them was Senator Mike Lee from Utah, and I don't remember who the other one was. No, I do. It was Josh Hawley. Two people didn't vote for Joe Biden's defense secretary, Lloyd Austin. All of those Republicans supported Biden's Lloyd Austin, and you're not going to get behind Pete Hegseth?
Right.
If you don't get behind Pete Hegseth, get the hell out of there, because you've completely missed the message.
I'd like to add no further comment.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's get to some of the stories that I missed.
What did I miss?
What did I miss? Well, it's funny that you're talking about that, because the very first clip that I have for What I Miss is John Fetterman talking about Donald Trump's nominees.
All I am saying is that Democrats or other people can freak out over anyone that was nominated, and I am not that guy. And I'm open to have a conversation for whoever that's, I mean, especially really important ones. Like yesterday, I met with Representative Stefanik, and I was going to vote for her. And Rubio, another people. You know, there are people that we may agree on a lot of things or disagree on other things, but if these people are going to hold these kinds of offices, and we are in the business of working and getting along with people that disagree with some of the things we have, and we try to find the things that we can possibly agree on for the best possible outcomes.
So Fetterman, to me, is like the one Democrat that is just making good sense right now.
He is making me think that we are not in a simulation. What is John Fetterman? What is John Fetterman? That's the question.
Well, John Fetterman is a Democrat from a swing state. So he is leaning hard into I'm kind of in the middle. And he says a lot of things that you go, yeah, you know what? I can kind of get behind that. Problem with Fetterman is he votes way left all the time. His voting record is...
I don't think so. But, I mean, when you think about the way he supported Israel, when you think about the way that he's spoke on issues to sway people, sway things from even potentially coming to the point where it has a vote. Like, if you crack the surface of the narrative, which is what the Democrats and the liberals are so incredibly good at, is holding everybody's feet to the fire. You do not divert from the message. We are in lockstep from that message. When somebody goes out and says, screw that, this is what I think, the whole thing comes crumbling down. And I think he's probably done that more than anybody in Washington, D.C. Republicans, they go and they fight over everything all the time. Like, Republicans, if you disagree, you speak up, you say so. You know, how many different factions in the Republican House can we come up with? The different people who have different sorts of positions on any particular thing or intra-party conversation. Fetterman is like completely his own man. There's no way I saw people talking about, like, is he going to become a Republican? No possible way. But he could be an independent.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ends up like a Joe Manchin, because your point is very good. When you look at his voting record, it's in the middle of Democrats. Like, it's right there with all the other Democrats. But that doesn't account for how many times he's torpedoed things that never got to a vote because he went against the grain.
So much of what the liberal, far left, progressive wing of the Democrat Party has had success with is being the loudest, squeakiest wheel and daring anybody to say anything different. And Fetterman walks in his gym clothes and is like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And we're all like, well, yeah. Yeah, Fetterman.
Yeah, so the next clip that I pulled is actually a video clip. So if you're on the stream, you can watch it. But Daniel Penny did an interview with Judge Janine after being acquitted of, involuntary manslaughter. And I just thought it was great to hear from him in his own
I think
words.
he was acquitted from criminal negligence.
Criminal
the manslaughter
negligence,
one
that's
was
right.
actually the one that they couldn't come to agree on. And I hope that they can't press charges on. You ready to watch it?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. I think this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable. And I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt.
Do you guys think that can you relate to what he's saying there? That if you saw something like that on a subway or in public, where if you saw somebody being assaulted or being hurt or harmed or even threatened to be assaulted, could you live with yourself if you did nothing in that situation?
It'd be tough because every situation is different.
I was going to say, it really depends on the circumstances.
Yeah.
If you're a single male individual and you have military training to subdue somebody on a subway car, that's a lot different than me being on that same subway car with my children in tow and thinking, if I go in on this, I think about this all the time. If I see people who need help and I have my kids in my car, my kids come first.
Well, that's definitely a different situation. This is a different story because you definitely have to protect. That reminds me of a story my mom was telling me one time. She was working at a restaurant. She was working late nights, and after she got off work, she went to a gas station to get fuel. And while she's getting fuel, she noticed a man beating up either his girlfriend or his wife. And there's nothing that my mother could have done in that situation outside of calling 911.
Yeah, which you can do.
And that's what she did. She called 911 and she, was observing from a safe distance, never got out of her car, was ready to get the girl and go if the girl ran away or something like that. But she said that was probably one of the most traumatic experiences of her life. And you've got to look at the situation and what you're in and know your capabilities and act accordingly.
What I hate is that from now on, I probably have. You see something questionable, the first question you ask is, where am I? That's the point of that case.
What do you mean?
Am I in a blue area? Am I in a red area? Like, am I going to be the person they come after here if I do something or not?
You hear the stories of those fathers who go and single-handedly take out the person who sexually assaulted or raped their 12-year-old daughter, and Texas is like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And America's like, yeah.
Okay.
And in New York, you do something like this, and they hunt you down. And I mean, even one of the things that I've heard Judge Janine and Harris Faulkner talk a lot about in this case is it took them 10 or 12 days to arrest Penny. Penny, after the situation was complete and they were on the scene and everything, Daniel Penny was there answering, I don't guess he was answering questions. He was there, he was present, he was totally cooperative. He didn't look at all like he felt like he had done something that was criminal. And then a week and a half later, they're like, knock, 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 we're going to arrest you for the murder of this person. It's interesting, too, today the news came out that J.D. Vance has invited Daniel Penny to be his personal guest at the Army-Navy game this weekend, which Donald Trump and J.D. Vance will be at, and I am going to be front and center on my couch to watch that. If you've never seen Donald Trump go to this event before, it is an amazing thing to observe, and when he's done it before, he has been the president. He went to a few sporting events as a campaigner, as somebody who was a candidate. But Daniel Penny has accepted they will be joining President Trump in his suite at the game. And J.D. Vance tweeted out, posted on X, Daniel is a good guy, and New York's mob district attorney tried to ruin his life for having a backbone. I'm grateful he accepted my invitation and hope he's able to have fun and appreciate how much his fellow citizens admire his courage.
Just like Trump, the point of those cases isn't the verdict. It's the case itself. The fact that it exists, they've already made themselves a part of the conversation without the verdict being not guilty or guilty.
But I love what with J.D. Vance inviting him to this football game. We need to lionize these people. We need the people that step up and put themselves and their well-being at risk for the sake of others need to be the people that we lift up in society, that we reward for that sort of behavior.
I want to shower Daniel Penny with money from the country. I want him to become obscenely wealthy because Americans are saying thank you in the way that Americans often appreciate financially. We do not need Daniel Penny to be a household name. We do not need Daniel Penny to be... Now, if he wants to do this, that's different. But Daniel Penny doesn't need to be doing speeches at universities. Daniel Penny doesn't need to go and travel the country and talk about, standing up for... He doesn't need to do that. We can't put upon Daniel Penny that he has to be some sort of culture warrior for us. And I think, and this is going to lend me to a conversation that I want to have here in the 2 o'clock hour about Caitlyn Clark. We have a very bad habit. We are like beat dogs in the last probably 15 years where we've been told to keep our mouth shut for so long. If you're a conservative, if you're a Christian, if you're white, if you're male, if you're somebody who has loved, the things that are America before, if you're those things, if you are heterosexual, if you're somebody who is what used to be considered the traditional standard issue American, because that's what was presented most, we went through a time where we highlighted culturally that, listen, everybody isn't like that. Not everybody is this testosterone, masculine-laden, white Christian executive who, has a 401k and a pension and all this stuff. Like, that's not everybody's existence. I think that's a worthy conversation. There are a lot of people who are not that person. I'm not. I'm a female. I'm a working female. I'm a working female who's not a teacher or a nurse. So I have a little bit of an outside of the normal traditional lane of what a female should do. And I know there are people who think maybe I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now because I'm a female. We get told to shut up and to sit down with our conservative or Republican or Christian or traditional views. We get told to sit down and shut up for so long that now that we've kind of said, we're done with that. We're not going to sit down and shut up anymore. I'm calling on every single person listening right now to stop appropriating our cause on people who are doing things in life that aren't predicated by having to have a cause. I don't even know what Daniel Penny's career choice is. I know he was in the Marines. Was he going to work? If he was going to work, what was he doing?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea. But when he got on the subway, was he leaving work? Was he going home? What was he going to do when he got off of the subway car? That was Daniel Penny's life before all of this happened. He should be able to have that life again if he wants, but with all of our give, send, go money. Do you know what I'm saying? He should not. Daniel Penny does not owe anybody to be the constant, consistent messenger for some cause that has been thrust upon him because he had courage in a moment when others probably wouldn't. And I'm really getting very agitated at the appropriation of cause warriors that our political sphere, like we're in the political sphere. All I do is speak on causes that I care about. That's what you do, Ryan. That's what you do, Brad. That's why we're here, is we're supposed to talk about things. Daniel Penny's life was not intended for that. And when you listen to him in that clip talking about, wanting to be in the spotlight or the limelight, or he's like, that is not what I want or wanted. We'll talk a little bit about that in the 2 o'clock hour, and I'm going to comment on the Caitlyn Clark stuff that is all the rage, and it is making me mad. Making me mad.
I can't wait to hear.
All right, well, you'll be here.
I'm just going to be sitting here with my headphones on, though, mic off.
Professionally obligated.
Yeah. I'm going to go in my car.
When we come back, we're going to do a little next question. So you can send your Ask Us Anything questions to the Annie Fry YouTube live chat. We've got some coming in right now. We will start with the... Did Ethan say he can come in now, or does he need the 1 o'clock hour off? He needs the 1 o'clock hour off.
Yeah, he's going to come in too.
All right. Well, we'll hold the conversation about the best Christmas movie that we have listed on our YouTube live chat poll. Each of the four of us have picked our favorite movie, and we want to know from you, of our four, which is the best? Home Alone, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, or It's a Wonderful Life? We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com.
We're coming up on Christmas very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one, husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Level up the comfort of your home this winter with either free attic insulation or an air scrubber. With a new HVAC system installation from Air Comfort Service. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, we take you into the weekend with a Reardon Roundtable, drones, DEI, and the St. Louis Public Schools audit. All up for grabs. It starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Speak my truth or do I filter how I feel? I wonder, wouldn't it be nice to live inside a world that body is in black and white. I wonder what it's like to be my friends. Hope that they don't think I'll forget.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Right before I close my eyes, the only thing that's on my mind, been dreaming that you feel it too. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
Well, this is your opportunity to come on here and ask us whatever you want to know about whatever it is. And it can be serious. It can be not serious. It can be downright ridiculous. And we sift through the questions that you send us, and we ask. And we also have a few of our own. So, Brad, why don't you kick it off?
So today is Friday the 13th, and that made me wonder, do you or did you have any superstitions? I know, like, some of you, Annie, you played sports and stuff like that. So did you, Ryan.
Ryan,
didn't you
that?
play sports?
I did.
No,
Okay,
just...
And you played hockey, too, so you have to have
You
superstitions.
didn't play hockey? You played hockey?
I played roller hockey.
Roller hockey.
With the girls?
No.
Ryan is a roller derby girl. Did you guys know that?
That would be
His
fun.
name there also, Rockmouth.
Right. Rockmouth. I actually did know a roller derby girl. And she
So
was
did I.
Was she wild?
intense.
Was
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The one I knew drove a school bus and had blue hair.
Yeah, the one I knew, long time ago now, but
You don't
she
want
was,
to meet a roller derby girl and she looks like me. You want her to drive a school bus and have blue hair.
Blue hair.
Yeah, she had everything that you could see pierced.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
it
That
was
tracks.
like, all right. What your question was? What was it?
It's Friday the
looking back and
13th.
forth
Friday the
thinking
13th, yeah.
Did you have any superstitions, or do you have any superstitions?
Gosh, I don't think I did.
I didn't.
I don't think I had any that were identifiable. I would be maybe a little superstitious about things like, I'll tell you where I got it more, was when I was golfing. When you're in like matches, and especially when you're high school and stuff, and there's a lot of pressure on you,
Did you
man,
do chicken dance?
it was just little things that you
When you
do,
panicked?
you know, like little rituals that you do.
Yeah.
I would
before
when
you
I,
pod.
well, it's like when I was shooting a free throw, I would backspin the ball out, dribble, 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 shoot. But it's
But
not
that's a rhythm.
superstitious.
That's
it's
a rhythm.
Yeah, it's just what I did.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that if I dribbled it twice that I would miss per se. I just did that and shot.
It's just every little thing, and I've grown out of it now. And maybe it's because there's not as much pressure on these things. Really, don't care as much.
Talk about how you don't change your underwear for the show.
No, thank you. I'm not going to talk. I told you I didn't want to talk about that.
But I did. Thought maybe the peer pressure would get you to change your underwear.
No, peer pressure doesn't work on me anymore.
That's why our shows have been so great these
where I
days.
was going here
Yeah.
was that back then there was even little things, Brad, you know, like, okay, I get a little bit of mud on my ball. Should I leave that there because it'll make it fly a little bit, like just little
No,
things?
you clean it off.
I know that specific question
That
is a
what
bad
one?
Specific.
Were you superstitious?
Yeah. There are certain things that I wouldn't do prior to a game. Like if I knew I had a game that day, I wouldn't eat right before a game. And if the game didn't start until 8:00, if I got off work or whatever, I wasn't going to eat until after the game. I always made sure that like whenever I went up to bat, I would adjust my gloves right before I went in. Left one foot out, didn't step in until
Did it work?
Yes, it worked. I always played better when I did it right, and if I ate before I played, I always felt like I was going to throw up. But I always got better hits whenever I would follow my batting routine.
Well, this is something everybody wants to know. Bobo, who sends us about 30 questions, and we usually use most of them. Ryan, if you had to replace your hands with kitchen utensils, what would you pick?
Well, I think the obvious one is scissor hands, but I'm going to go with beater hands.
That like actually move, not the ones that you'd have to crank with the other hand, which would just be so disappointing.
No. We got to use the regular ones because otherwise you're getting into like Wolverine territory. You got to have a lot of apparatus going. I just want the regular ones where you can walk around just kind of like swirling.
I don't want scissors. Spatulas.
Yeah.
You can slap people. Slap it.
Spatula hands.
Yeah. I don't want anything sharp.
I don't really want to replace my hands.
Well, it's the only.
It's the only thing. All right, you have to replace them.
Brad.
I was going to say a cleaver and a fork.
Good night.
But you might hurt yourself.
I might, but then I might not.
Well, next question. Bobo, you're fired. So am I for asking it.
Yeah.
Ryan?
If you go on a vacation to somewhere you've never been, do you go on a tour or do you see it all yourself?
If I'm going somewhere I've never been before, do I go on a tour?
Yeah.
I have a good example for this story. When we went in 2019 to New York City for the first time, I went, my husband went, and Katie, our producer at the time, went, and none of us had ever been to New York City before. And we had, I think, 3 nights, 4 days there. And we said, let's hardcore tourist this as much as we possibly can. Because it wasn't a whole lot of time. And I don't think that you can discover the intricacies, specifically of a place as big as New York City, on your own without making mistakes that we didn't have time for. So let's just do the double-decker bus tour. Let's go see the Statue of Liberty. Let's go stand in Times Square. Let's look at Broadway. We didn't go see a show. We ate pizza. I think we got a bagel. I mean, it was as touristy as you could possibly get, and I thought that was the right way to do it.
But you did it by doing an official tour.
Tours.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we went on a tour to Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
We went
and they tell you stories and stuff, right? Or they at
Yes.
least give you a little background.
I need to know, like, the super 100 level basic story of the city before I can go back and say, I want to know more about the
This
art
thing.
industry or the sports industry or whatever. What about you, Brad?
I will not do a tour. I am a seat of my pants kind of guy when it comes to going on vacation, even if I haven't been there before. Now, I will do some research beforehand, but I don't like my vacations to be on rails. So I'm very much like, let's see what the day brings kind of guy. So
I think you can waste time doing that. It depends on how long you have, though.
You can,
Well,
but
you can also freewheel it a little bit more.
Mhm.
Like if
Yeah.
you see something that, oh, that's cool, you can
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
go
stop.
off and do that. I used to do, I asked this question for this reason. I used to do exactly what you're talking about. But the last couple times I've been somewhere, I've taken a tour. And I thought this was great. This was the best way to do it because it's so efficient. And if you can go on a bad tour where
Yeah.
the tour guide
Mhm.
doesn't
Yeah.
really tell you stories. But if they get a good one that tells you the stories, give you a little history, it's really good.
I'll add into that Washington, D.C. I'd never been to Washington, D.C. before 2024. I went at the beginning of May, I think it was, with my son's 8th grade class, which is just one 3-day-long tour. Everything is managed, and I loved that because the tour guide, they have all of this knowledge. If you get, especially one that's experienced, they absorb a lot of knowledge. So I went and did that, but then we went back because my husband had never been before. We went back to watch the Cardinals Nationals series right on July 4th. And so then we just freewheeled everything, but I kind of served as I remember the tour guide said this, and I remember, so I kind of replicated the free version of the tour thing for my husband. Now he is going to go back next year, I assume, with my daughter in her 8th grade class and do the tour thing. But there definitely was much more that I gleaned out of the tour version of Washington, D.C. because it's just saturated with history.
Absolutely.
There's so much there. I want to ask this question. All right, Bobo, redeem yourself. If you could make a minor inconvenience illegal, what would it be? I'll go first. People who stop walking abruptly in the middle of a crowded area.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Now, that's a good one. But I unequivocally, undoubtedly would ban gum chewing forever. Gum should not exist, and if I could find a way to get that in Trump's platform, I would.
Man,
Don't chew gum.
I have to agree with him here. The first thing I would like to do is just outlaw. It's not just people stopping in the middle of a crowded area. It's people who have no awareness of anything going on around them at any given time in a crowd. Because there is a way. We've been to parks, theme parks, man. That's a great place to show this. If there is a flow to traffic, and you decide, I think I'm going to stop right here and take a bite of my corn dog.
Or get the thing that people do is stop and they do something on their phone. Head
Or
down,
that,
stop
yes,
in the middle, and they're
yes.
on their phone, and it's like, you can't move to the side.
And grace for people who have kids who are managing a bunch of people, and you got to stop for a second. I got to make sure I got everybody. That happens. But if you are just selfishly not considering your surroundings, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I bet Brad's has something to do with driving.
No, the caveat would be it's almost the exact same thing as Ryan, but walking the opposite direction as the flow of people in the middle of that flow.
Like the Europeans.
Oh, man, it was hard in Japan because it's the opposite. So you get so used to going down the right side, and you would be going down the left side the whole time.
Yeah, but there's people that like to do that just to inconvenience you or to stir the pot or whatever, and I would make that illegal.
Let's take a quick break. We've got some more questions to ask here. Your questions continue to come in. We are monitoring the story that KMOX is reporting on this as well, and we're going to get the details of the press conference regarding the charges that have been filed in the murder of Colin Brown, the hockey player who's driving home from hockey and was gunned down in this ridiculously unsafe city. The report says that 26-year-old Garrett Jordan has been charged with his murder. So we're going to give you the details on that in the 2 o'clock hour when the press conference is over. So stick around for that news information. Very good to find out that they have somebody to charge. We'll find out those details and deliver them to you as we get them. More Ask Us Anything. Next question, next here on The Annie Fry Show.
This is The Annie Fry Show.
TheDiamondShop.net. If you were looking for a beautiful Christmas gift, holiday gift for somebody special this holiday season, or if you love deals and you know a good one when you see it, in Clayton, the Diamond Shop, in-stock jewelry, 40% off. So if you're looking to make a beautiful, sparkly, priceless, timeless purchase this holiday season, do not sleep on getting to the Diamond Shop in Clayton. They've been in St. Louis since 1910. They've been around the block a whole bunch of times, and they know how to do good business. They know how to have the top quality products at very fair and reasonable prices for you for your holiday shopping. I will also add in here, they have 6 months same as cash financing, which makes 40% off go even further. Now, if you go onto the website to thediamondshop.net, you scroll to the bottom of the page, there is a quick form for you to fill out to become a Diamond Shop VIP. Thediamondshop.net, scroll to the bottom, fill out the form, and when you become a VIP, you can tack an additional 10% off that 40% off in-stock jewelry. Find all the details online at thediamondshop.net.
Tune in to the Home Improvement Show sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at noon, or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
I know we're all busy. We're working, we're running errands, trying to take care of the kids. It's really easy to put things off. One thing you do not want to put off, though, your annual eye exam. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates not only gave me the most thorough eye exam I've ever had, but they're also experts in the diagnosis and treatment of all diseases of the eye. Everything from dry eye to macular degeneration and cataracts. Think about this. Your eye health is the window into your overall body health. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry, they can look at your eyes and even tell in some cases if you have early stage diabetes, heart disease, lung problems, even some forms of cancer. They're called the doctors' doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors. The best part about this is that most insurance plans cover the cost of your annual eye exam. Set up your appointment today, 314-966-5000. Again, 314-966-5000, or go to youridoc.com.
Lifestyles Unlimited member Lisa appreciates having mentors who have her back.
Having the faith to move forward, and y'all have everything provided. I could call a mentor and say, hey, I don't know what to do. Someone is always there to guide you. I have backup.
Lifestyles Unlimited. Over 33 years teaching the real estate retirement roadmap. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join now for $297, a 60% savings. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
Just a reminder that in the 2 o'clock hour, we're giving away really the best of all the ticket packs. We've saved it for last year on Friday. It's an opening day ticket pack, 8 games. We're giving away one big pack in the 2 o'clock hour. You're going to want to stick around for that opening day 8-game ticket pack coming up here soon. And the YouTube live chat poll, which of the cast's favorite Christmas movies is the best? Log on and see which ones you have to choose from and vote while you're there. 143. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Ryan Wiggins here from Wiggins America and the Annie Fry Show. One of the best things that's under-celebrated about the holiday season is the time off resetting for the coming year. And boy, do we have a big one ahead. Looking forward to it. Merry Christmas.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
My eyes want you more than a melody. Let me inside. Wish I could get to know you. Sunflowers sometimes keep it sweet in your
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've been doing a little next question, ask us anything, and if you want to participate, get on the YouTube live chat poll and drop your questions in there. In the 2 o'clock hour, I am going to talk about two very important things. The Caitlyn Clark drama that's coming out since she's been named the Time Athlete of the Year, the discussion that's being had around Caitlyn Clark. We'll discuss that in the 2 o'clock hour, and also whether or not President Thomas Whitmore from Independence Day was a Republican or a Democrat.
Ooh, can't wait.
In no particular order, but obviously at the order of importance.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question.
Brad, how about you go first?
Yeah, I'm going to set this one up. All right.
Oh,
so,
here we go, Ryan.
All right.
Take
No,
notes.
I think I know this one.
Yeah. You loan a friend $500 with the understanding that friend is going to use said $500 for gambling. That friend gambles the money, and then of that gambling, they win $40,000.
Are
How
these
much?
numbers are these important numbers?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're random,
I don't
but
have
it's
to do
it's a real hypothetical.
Yeah. How much of that money should your friend pay you?
$500.
You said the loan was $500.
Yeah,
and
you-
they won $40,000.
If you loan somebody $500 and you know they're going to gamble it and you don't stipulate beforehand what happens after the fact, you get $500 back if you're lucky.
That's actually, that was my biggest concern, was that you didn't say ahead of time, look, if you win this much, I'm giving you this loan with the expectation that
10%.
if you win, I get X amount.
Yeah.
That seems like a very logical thing to do. And if you
Obviously.
don't do it, you just screwed up.
So here's the thing, though. I don't loan that $500 without explaining to them that I am assuming the financial risk of this endeavor, and therefore
Well,
I
if
will
you're-
get.
What do you mean you're assuming the financial risk?
I'm the only one with money in the game. If he loses the $500, I'm out the $500.
Yeah, but if he's got skill and he's gambling,
Fair enough.
then that's a
fair enough,
quotient.
but if he loses that money, even though he's got the skill, he's out nothing. He just loses the
no,
money.
that's not true. You loan him
it's a loan.
$500. He owes you $500.
He's got to
back.
pay you back because it's a loan. It's not a gift.
I still think that I get the biggest share of the money because it was my money and I assumed the financial risk.
I like the way he thinks.
Yeah, good luck. Now you can't. Maybe you don't mean loan. Maybe you mean invest.
Okay, let's say invest then. But
Then you have to stipulate that if you provide 50%, if you provide $500, why aren't you gambling it?
why aren't I gambling it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I add something to this scenario? Because this is the way I pictured this scenario playing out.
Yeah, mustard.
Two people are drunk in Vegas at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, this
and
is
one
where
of them
all
goes,
good loans start.
"Oh man, I'm totally out, but can you give me $500, man? I got a real good feeling." And you go, "Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's
of
alcohol,
course I
it's
can."
tequila.
Yeah, like in no other circumstance would you ever do that, but in this one you would, and you didn't think ahead of time to come up with any terms. That's kind of where you're coming at it, right? Is that you didn't?
Sure.
All that's kind of baked into the cake. This has already happened. What do you expect to get back?
Yeah.
A lost friendship, because you're never going to agree on that. If you're loaning, in your situation, in your scenario, if you're drunkenly in the middle of the night in Vegas loaning $500 out with like objective expectations on the other side, you're dumb.
Yes, you are.
So that's a no.
So,
But if it's a loan, if you're loaning $500, it doesn't matter what they're doing with it. If you don't stipulate you're going to get, I want 50% of the win, or like I was saying before Ryan interjected his drunken Vegas wrinkle
scenario
to the story, why aren't you the one gambling it?
Well, maybe I'm not good at gambling.
Well, then you are hoping on the gambler who is good at gambling or good at playing poker or whatever. You're using their skill, which is a value, to the equation to increase your investment. Then you need to call it an investment, and you need to stipulate ahead of time. If you hand $500 over as a loan, you get $500 back.
You're lucky if you get $500 back if
For
it's
sure.
to the guy who's going to go take it to the table.
If you're loaning it to the guy who's so good at gambling that he doesn't have $500 to invest in his own gambling, like red flags everywhere, you are lucky to get the $500 back.
Listen, you guys know me. I've just had a really bad night.
Listen, we're gonna play poker. Play poker. I'm gonna hit.
Really good. I'm gonna hit this. I got a good feeling. To answer your question, just on the surface, after I add my drunken 2 a.m. Scenario to it, I would say I would expect 5,000 back. Not half, but double, like 10 times.
That's what you would expect or appreciate?
That's what I would. Good question. I would appreciate that. And if they were around that, a few $1,000, I'd be like, all right, that's cool. And I guess I win.
Any other thoughts on
my
that?
thoughts are this:
Did you do this?
No, I didn't do this. I actually saw this online.
Did you have a friend who?
I saw
did
this argument
Ryan
happening
Wiggins?
online.
No.
My thoughts are it's like a business. I invest in the company. I pour my money and my resources in there, and I don't have the skill to make the product, but I know that you do.
But that's
so you
an
make the
investment.
product.
That's
yeah,
not a loan.
But it's an
you would
investment.
have figured out the terms ahead of time if it was.
For sure.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's totally fair to say, yeah, I'll invest $500 in your skill to play poker, and I want 50% of your winnings. And if you lose, I lose too.
Yeah.
Like
all of these.
That's the investment. And with the investment, there's going to be a risk there that you're going to lose your $500. If it's a loan, you could chase them down for your $500 until there's no one to chase down anymore.
Right.
Okay.
This is all why none of us have been in this scenario.
I want to play in a poker tournament so bad.
Do you?
Yes.
I would invest $500.
You're not investing. I'm not taking your $500 to play.
He'll invest $500. He gets 50%.
No.
Other
I want
500,
$70.
and I get the other 50%.
You're going to give me $500, and if I win, you want 70% back?
70% back.
I'll use my own $500 and keep 100%.
I'll do it for 60%. No?
Did you hear what I said? Your negotiating skills are fantastic. Ryan, next question.
If you're reading a book, ebook or physical copy?
Or the grocery list.
I mean, whichever.
It could be whatever.
Whichever. No, real question, though. Do you like reading ebooks better than real books?
Neither. I do Audible books.
You listen. So it's kind of a digital version.
I see your question and raise you a question. Can I say I read a book when I listened to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Gosh, I don't know. Now that I say it, I'm like, I don't know. Because you're still getting the information, but you didn't physically read the book.
And to me, there is a snottiness involved in be like, well, you didn't read it.
And you can't.
Implying that I couldn't.
Right.
Which
well,
is
it's
partially
faster.
true. Because I can't I can't have my attention span in the nose of a book without falling asleep or having people ask me to take them to go potty. So I can listen in the car to and from, or while I'm going to sleep or something like that. I can listen way more successfully than holding a book in front of me, pretending like I'm going to have more than 2 consecutive minutes to do that.
Oh, you can't read a book while you drive, huh?
I haven't tried.
Gosh.
So I've seen people do that. I've seen people highlighting papers on their steering wheel, driving 75 miles an hour down 5570.
That's awful. I need a paper book. I like the paper. I can't do the electronic copy. I can listen to a book, and I consider that reading because you're intaking the information, and it's a book. It's just, what we say whenever you take in the information from a book. You read a book. So, but yeah, paper book.
I still prefer a paper copy just because I like it. It's traditional. But man, is it more convenient to be able to just download books. You can get them from the library now for nothing. You just download the book in your phone.
Scoot wants to know, in our next question, will President Xi accept the invitation to attend the inaugural?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm a no on that as well.
No way. Why would he do that?
That's such a weird invitation. He's
a flex.
No, it's a baller move that he's trying to do because he knows that Xi will not say yes. If he did, I'd be nervous.
Boy, wouldn't that be weird if he did show up, though? I don't know. It's a weird.
If he showed up, that would signal such a vote of confidence in America. Why would China want to do that?
Would it though? Is that what that would signify?
What other option would there be? If President Trump is taking the oath of office and President Xi is in the background?
I'm not saying he's going to. I said no to this question. But the only reason I could see him doing it is that he's saying basically he's important. These are important world events and he's there for them.
Well, yeah, but it's saying that Donald Trump is important, not me.
I don't know if it's saying that. I think it's
like going to another king's crowning. You're offering fealty to said king.
I don't think he's going to show up, so it's a moot point. But.
Moo.
Man, what I want to do right now.
Don't do it.
I'm
Don't
not
do it.
going to.
Don't. Here, hold this letter. Hold this letter.
Because we're trying to clean
hold this
things
letter
up.
from an angry listener.
I will.
And there you go.
All right.
It's right next to. Did you have another question or are you tapped?
Yeah, this one's just real simple. What is your favorite breakfast food?
I will add to that one of the listener questions is what's your favorite way to eat eggs? Because you can eat eggs in a bazillion different ways. My favorite breakfast, what I eat every single morning is a Greek yogurt with chia seeds and a non-fat, sugar-free vanilla latte from Scooters.
Yeah, does the coffee part count? Because that's my
Oh, I
choice.
consider it because it's protein.
Okay.
Greek yogurt is what I eat every single morning. I don't know that it's my favorite, though. Like, my husband makes crepes. Have you ever had crepes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Savory or sweet?
Sweet.
Okay.
Butter and syrup.
Okay.
Just like straight up. No, nothing fancy.
Okay.
No fruit or anything. I don't like fruit on pancakes and waffles and stuff like that. I don't want that.
What about Nutella?
No.
Oh, man. That's a bold new world you're going to have to
I
enter.
think waffles are the best breakfast food. I'm going to go with waffles.
I really, really, really like, and it's so lame. I love McDonald's sausage biscuits, like the basic, not the McGriddles.
Put jelly on them?
No, nothing. It's just a sausage biscuit, as base level as it
I
gets.
think Hardee's has the best biscuits.
Oh, agreed.
They probably do.
Agreed.
I should.
And I'm not talking
include
like
them in
the raisin biscuit things that they sell right now. I'm just talking like the biscuit that comes with the sandwich or something like that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, a big Belgian waffle, I'm not going to fight against you. Those are really good. And crepes are good. But on a daily basis, sausage biscuit.
Biscuits and gravy is probably my favorite.
Jared makes great.
I like a savory breakfast, and that does it. Especially if you can get some eggs. Eggs over easy. Oh, yeah.
Sunny side up.
Sunny side up.
Is that how you eat it?
Yeah.
Do you dip your toast in it?
I will,
That would
although
be
I'll
good.
get them over easy, over medium sometimes
Dip
too.
your toast in it, dip your pancakes in it, dip your English muffin in it. That's to be able to sit down. I mean, that's like something you have to sit down to eat.
Yeah.
That's a good,
That's
enjoyable
luxurious.
thing. It is. It's fancy.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we are going to talk about the Caitlyn Clark drama that is taking the internet by storm once again. If Caitlyn Clark's not being talked about, does she even exist? I don't even know. And was President Whitmore from Independence Day a Republican or a Democrat? Next. Don't go away.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
An American detainee gets out of Syria. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Travis Timmerman says he was held for 7 months by the Assad regime, detained during a Christian pilgrimage. Now he's been flown out of Syria by the U.S. military.
Timmerman was freed along with thousands of other prisoners after rebel fighters ousted President Bashar al-Assad. In an interview with the Associated Press, he says he was held apart from Syrian and other Arab prisoners and did not know of any other Americans held in the prison. Officials at the White House have signaled renewed hope of locating American journalist Austin Tice, who was abducted in Damascus more than 12 years ago.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A growing number of lawmakers demanding answers from the federal government as drone sightings spread.
If you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it.
Vito Fossella is the Staten Island borough president in New York. The White House has said there's no evidence of any threat as the FBI investigates. The Texas Attorney General is suing a New York doctor for prescribing abortion pills to a Texas woman through telehealth. It appears to be a first-in-the-nation challenge to laws passed by Democrat-led states aiming to shield those prescriptions from abortion restrictions. The woman who accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of raping her nearly 2 decades ago now admits she lied.
It was back in 2006. Duke University lacrosse team had an off-campus party at their house, and a stripper involved claimed that she was raped by 3 of those lacrosse players. Now, yesterday, for the first time, from jail where she is serving a prison sentence for murdering her boyfriend, Crystal Mangum said, in fact, the rape never happened. It was a story she made up, and she offered 18 years later an apology.
Fox's Steve Harrigan, Mangum asking for forgiveness, saying at the time she was seeking validation. The lacrosse players who were suspended eventually reached an undisclosed settlement with Duke when the case was dismissed, and the prosecutor was just barred for withholding DNA evidence. America's listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast turning cloudy this afternoon, breezy day. High today 41. Clouds and periods of rain tonight toward dawn, low 35. Rain tomorrow, could be some road ponding, high 47. A bit of rain tomorrow evening, otherwise clouds, low 41. And then sunshine, a few clouds, and not as cool on Sunday. High Sunday afternoon, 56. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at igotfloor.com, and you're shopping for flooring at igotfloor.com. You can really knock out a whole lot of the business just by visiting their website. You can request an estimate there at igotfloor.com. You can shop through all of the beautiful flooring finishes that you can put in your home. And remember, Michael's Flooring Outlet does both residential floor and commercial floor. So if you're looking to renovate a new business or buy or build or something like that, Michael's Flooring Outlet can share with you the quality products that they carry, like the Mohawk Smart Strand carpet line with superior performance, beautiful finishes, the Techwood Plus line as well. You can enjoy those in your place of work. You can also enjoy those at home. But it starts with visiting them online at igotfloored.com. You can also go through the reviews. And when you're looking to make an investment like flooring, it's good to know that other people out there have had real life experiences that they're willing to share. Find it all online at igotfloored.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and I live in the Fenton area, and I love that I have the largest locally owned sporting goods store right here where I live, Denny Dennis Sporting Goods. Their selection of hunting, fishing, firearms, and ammo is huge. Whether it's for you right now or for the outdoors person on your Christmas shopping list, check out Denny Dennis Sporting Goods in Fenton. Their prices and customer service will not be beat. Denny Dennis, where family traditions begin. I even bought my daughter a fishing rod recently, and memories are made forever. Denny Dennis on Gravois at the Merrimack River, Fenton, Missouri. Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. I depend on them for eye care, and they have an announcement. They're pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon, and he has the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field. So what do we call them now? The doctors? No, just the best doctors to see for your best vision. In St. Louis, you can reach them at 314-966-5000. They've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any others in the practice. Now, if you need help with dry eye, LASIK surgery, maybe you have glaucoma, macular degeneration. I had an eye disease when I was just 25 years old, so my eyes are very important to me. You get the absolute best care with the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, and now Dr. Samuel Berry. 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com. They have a great location just off Manchester Road, a half-mile west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates.
Wrap up your holiday shopping with Jewelry Television. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles and gifts for women and men. Shop on TV or online. Plus, new JTV customers save up to $50 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Hey guys, Ethan Hannaford, producer for The Annie Fry Show and The Mark Reardon Show here. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas season and happy holidays to you all. Thank you so much for listening on 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
You need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Friday and welcome back. It's good to have you here. We appreciate each and every one of you. The YouTube live chat poll for today, which of the cast's favorite Christmas movies is the best? Now, I think it's important. People are saying, you forgot this movie, you forgot that movie, you forgot to put Die Hard on this list. Ugh. That'll be for later. We'll do the Die Hard thing later. These are our favorite Christmas movies. So Brad, Ryan, Ethan, and myself all picked our own Christmas movies and put them in a list. And we just want to know, which do the Annie Fry Show audience agree the most with? Is it Home Alone, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, or It's a Wonderful Life? So just to be clear, we're asking you, of these four movies, which is the best? Not is the best one in our list. But feel free to argue with us in the chat.
Yeah, you can post what yours is. We're just asking when you vote, you're picking between four.
Yes.
Our four.
In the midst of that, we have the Brendan Kelly press conference that took place regarding the just absolute tragic death of Colin Brown, that hockey player who was gunned down on the highway. Let's listen into this from the Illinois State Police press conference.
When there is such a senseless, unfathomable loss of life, there must be an answer for it. And the officers of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, they have answered. And the circuit attorney has answered. Our partners in other law enforcement agencies and our federal brothers and sisters from those federal agencies they also have answered. So we are grateful for that.
Well, I know that a lot of people were wanting to get some sense of closure in the situation. It was such an incredibly sad thing to watch a 16-year-old lose his life in this manner in St. Louis. And I am disgusted with how unsafe St. Louis is, because I also know how amazing St. Louis is. I know how strong of a city, how great of a city St. Louis is, but we don't put our best foot forward when it comes to protecting it. So as individuals, the three of us come downtown every day. On any given day, what do you see? And I'm talking like between 8 a.m. and noon.
Well, yeah, of course we're going to see homeless people, but I think what stands out the most to me is just the empty buildings. That's so sad. Because either they once were operational businesses and they were closed by COVID and then they had to put boards over the windows, or nobody's occupied these places for a long time.
The point is that those businesses are not functioning businesses downtown St. Louis because between 8 a.m. and noon, when you're driving into work or going to lunch or whatever, you're stepping over people who are cracked out of their minds, high on some sort of drugs, walking up to you on the street, trying to ask you for money, people sleeping and peeing and pooping. I mean, literally outside our window, we watched a man poop in the shadow of Soldiers Memorial and the St. Louis Public Library. We watched a man poop on a tree right out here. And it was just a Tuesday.
It's so weird, too, because you've probably been, if you're in St. Louis, you've seen these famous buildings. Soldiers Memorial is right outside our window.
Beautiful.
There's a gorgeous park in front of it. It is an amazing-looking building. If you've ever been inside, it's also just a fantastic visit. But it's like the weird reverse poetry of somebody taking a dump in a beautiful park outside of a beautiful building, and it just being normal is so bizarre and dystopian.
On the south side of Soldiers Memorial, one time when we were upstairs on the 22nd floor of the building for something, I was just looking outside and I watched this man walk from the south side of our building across the street into the south side of Soldiers Memorial. Beautiful water fountain, water feature out in front, which, having gone to Washington, D.C., I learned about all the different ways that water represents things when it comes to how the water is presented. Is the water tumultuous? Is it still, because that signifies death? Does it move? Does it translate from tumultuous to still? Whatever. I watched this guy walk from in front of our building across the street and bathe in the water fountain out front. Took his clothes off, changed his clothes, did his laundry in that, and then it was probably 11 a.m.
Did you say this was at the St. Louis Public Library?
This one was in front of the Soldiers Memorial on the other side.
Oh, because I've seen them do that too at the library. Where
water?
I don't just like gathered water. I don't think it was intended.
No, they were in the fountain.
Oh gosh.
I have it on video.
No,
I couldn't believe it, and I thought if I explain this to people who don't come downtown anymore, that they wouldn't believe me. But this guy, Colin Brown, he's a child, 16-year-old hockey player, gunned down on 55. It's an unbelievable story. KMOX reports that the 26-year-old man has been charged in relation to the killing and death of 16-year-old CBC student and hockey player Colin Brown. Garrett Jordan, 26, is charged Friday with first-degree murder, 2 counts of armed criminal action, unlawful use of a weapon, and assault. Brown was shot and critically injured while riding in an SUV with his father at I-55 and Bates Avenue. St. Louis City Police say it happened around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 23rd. Police say the father continued to drive and stopped at 4th and Walnut, where police and EMS met him. Brown died on Wednesday, shot on Saturday, died on Wednesday with his organs donated to other patients. According to the probable cause statement, Jordan followed and fired at a separate victim in another vehicle who was entering I-55 from Minnesota Avenue. The probable cause statement also says Jordan previously spent time in federal prison and was recently released months ago. Jordan has been arrested by police after police traced his phone's location data to the scene of the crime, according to court documents. St. Louis Metropolitan Police have scheduled a press conference that was given today, and that was part of the clip that we provided for you.
Follow me here. I just saw about an hour ago, Karl Rove was on Fox News doing his little whiteboard thing.
Ugh.
And he had some stats. Now, we weren't listening because we were on the air, but he had some stats on there. And one of them was business owners who feel more optimistic about the economy now. And it was like 50-something percent. Mm-hmm. And then below that, it was business owners who are going to invest more in employees, invest more in their business. All the percentages were up, of course. Donald Trump has not even taken office yet. People are willing to begin looking at maybe investing more. They're optimistic because of messaging, because they've seen what Donald Trump does, and they know what he's going to do because he messages that's what he's going to do. So much of crime could be solved by messaging that they're not going to allow it. Following through with it, certainly. But go out there and say, at least, even if your resources are depleted, and whatever you're cutting here and you're cutting there, go out and put on a public facade that you're going to be hard on crime. It goes a long way.
Yeah. I could go on forever about it. If I became the governor of Illinois, I would immediately court as many business people as I possibly could to come right here across the river in East St. Louis and say, "Oh, blue city St. Louis in a red state, we're going to put a red city in our blue state right across the river on the east side, and we're going to dwarf St. Louis in business opportunity on the east side. Let's go." How much better would that be for the city of St. Louis? They'd have to compete. They'd have to care. That was if I were the governor. I want to talk about Caitlyn Clark, and if there are more details that come up with the Colin Brown death, we will definitely go to it. It's a tragic story here in St. Louis, and it's really frustrating to continue on with these stories of people who are repeat offenders who are hurting people. So we'll get back to that story if more information arises. Scott Jennings, who is just been doing his Scott Jennings things here lately, was talking on CNN about the Caitlyn Clark situation.
Is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something that's smart, truth, and factual?
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say, because there isn't my truth or your truth. There's just the truth. And when you start using phrases like that, it tells me that
that's not true.
Your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about having respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean?
To
what did they build? What do you mean? What did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
The reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in this.
Isn't it because of the investors?
No, Scott, stop it. You stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickie's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickie's arena. Let me just tell you.
It says more about the people who are getting offended by it than her.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like the
and here's the disappointment.
It's the white privilege. Let him articulate this, because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her, because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts.
Why do you assume
they hate her guts?
Why do you assume that she is trying to pander? Isn't it also...
Because I hear the language. It's the language of the pander. I hear the phrase white privilege. Sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer, and it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason, because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting right now for doing what she's doing for women's basketball.
So CNN and having this conversation, good for them for having the conversation and continuing to keep Scott Jennings in the conversation, because I just literally saw within the last 24 hours that the Food Network beat CNN.
Wow.
Yes. This Food Network outrated CNN. So Scott Jennings is on here, and he's talking about something that everybody is talking about, certainly on X and in conversations like radio shows like ours, sports people, culture people, politics people are having these conversations. Caitlyn Clark was named the Athlete of the Year by Time Magazine. Let's see here. This is a Fox News report. It says, in her discussion with Time, Clark seemed to agree with Wilson to an extent. Clark said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Listen, Caitlyn Clark's presence in the WNBA will elevate these black players because people are paying attention to the WNBA for the first time. And listening to those people challenge Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is saying, listen, people are watching the WNBA now. They weren't watching it before. I'm looking this up right now. The NBA provides the WNBA with financial support in a few ways. The annual endowment to the WNBA by the men who play in the NBA is annually $15 million. Why are they sending $15 million over to the WNBA? To help cover operating costs like travel, facilities, marketing, and administration. Any functional business on their own should at minimum be able to cover operating costs. The WNBA has not been able to do that. More on that, the NBA and the WNBA are in negotiations for media rights deals that could bring in more than $7 billion per year. The WNBA expects to receive around $200 million per year from these deals. Ownership. The NBA owns about 60% of the WNBA, while the 12 WNBA teams own the remaining 40%. The WNBA has historically lost money, with some estimates saying it will lose around $50 million in 2024. That was their successful year. $50 million that they will lose in 2024, according to estimates. However, the league's revenue has doubled since 2019, and the WNBA had its most watched regular season in 24 years at the end of September. So, what happened this year? Caitlyn Clark happened this year. Caitlyn Clark is a white girl. Caitlyn Clark cannot help that she's a white girl. The majority of players in the WNBA happen to be black girls. There is a skin color cultural divide in our country. But Caitlyn Clark, by happenstance, has the talent that she has been blessed with, has now made it into the WNBA, and has brought attention to this thing that nobody cared about before, and I'm one of them. And I played varsity basketball through my senior year of high school. I was a player. I coached girls basketball. I did not know anything about the WNBA before this year. I watched Iowa college basketball like the rest of the country. We watched the women's college championship, and not the men's college championship. Who was in the men's college championship last year?
I don't remember.
It's a UConn.
Oh, yeah. And Purdue.
People didn't watch it. Who was in the women's?
There was Iowa and, I can't think of the lady's name. She's
South Carolina. And South Carolina won, but only if you ask anybody those questions, what do they remember? They remember that Caitlyn Clark was in the women's championship. And then they probably remember that she was wearing a jersey from Iowa and that it was the Hawkeyes. That's what people remember. So she is a phenom. She is a once-in-a-lifetime player. She will transform the WNBA. She happens to be white, but just for the same reason that she can't help that she's not black, she also can't help that she's white. I'm watching on X all of these people who are conservative commentators with all of their hot takes. They're throwing Caitlyn Clark away right now because she said there is privilege. Did you see the beginning of her statement where she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing? That's how she started her comments. Now, if you've watched her games, she gets the sugar kicked out of her every time she plays. It's filthy. It's dirty. It's nasty. She gets trucked over, and then the other players laugh at her. And they joke about it. And the media doesn't hold them accountable because there's some sort of race thing going on here, and it's not just basketball. What is Caitlyn Clark supposed to do? She cannot solve the problem of racial inequality and disparity if you think that's what the problem is. And she cannot also solve the problem of her whiteness just now being okay with everybody, because it's not going to be okay with everybody that she's white. Caitlyn Clark is a really phenomenal generational basketball talent, and it is not Caitlyn Clark's job to toe the line every time she gets the opportunity to speak on something to appease the masses and the asses that are out there trying to pressure her to be in the right cultural moment all the time. She can't possibly do that. What she can continue to do is show up and kill it every time she gets the opportunity to put a basketball in her hands. And she did that the whole time. She is a white, heterosexual female in the WNBA, and she would be the most sought-after player for anybody for any team. If they could bring Caitlyn Clark onto their team, they would want to. Not even because of her basketball skill, but because of the dollars that she brings in the door. Every single owner out there would want her on that team. She's named Athlete of the Year. In the midst of all of this controversy that's going around, what is she supposed to say? Do you want Caitlyn Clark, who just happens to be an amazing basketball player, to go to Time and say, yeah, I'm white, and I'm proud to be white, and all these people who are treating me bad because I'm white, I'm sick and tired. Like, what is she supposed to say in that moment?
She's trying to play basketball, and she's caught up in all of the midst of this nonsense. I mean, it's unfortunate because she's a terrific basketball player. She has broken every NCAA record. That's why people pay attention to her. She has broken even the male records for scoring. That's once in a generation. So when you capture people's attention like that, regardless of race, people kind of cling to you and they go, oh, yeah, this is a once in a generation player, kind of like Michael Jordan or LeBron James. These people don't come along very often. And so when they do, you better, as a league, embrace them because they lift your league up. The example of the NBA is a good one because you're talking about the same sport. If these racist people who will only watch the WNBA because they have a white girl are also watching the NBA because that's not racist, though, it makes no sense.
Dan says on YouTube, Caitlyn Clark just went woke. She lost me as a fan. Dan, she didn't go woke. She said the first thing she says is that I want to say I've earned every single thing. And then she says, but as a white person, there is privilege. It is different to live in this world and in this country when you're a white person and when you're a black person. It's unrealistic to think that there are differences. In the same way that you guys walking down the street at 9 p.m. in St. Louis versus me walking down at 9 p.m. Down the street in St. Louis, we are going to have different thoughts and fears in our mind. If you're walking by yourself and if you're walking with your wife, you have different thoughts and feelings in your mind. We have different experiences, and there's nothing wrong with calling that out. And Caitlyn Clark, as a basketball player, does not owe the cancel culture and the DEI wokesters of the world. She doesn't owe them anything, and she also doesn't owe us anything. What she needs to do is go continue to kick ass at playing basketball every single opportunity she gets, and then we who have the opportunity to buy her jersey, to buy her shoes, if she ever gets those shoes finally printed out, which she doesn't have a shoe deal, or she has a shoe deal, but she doesn't have a shoe yet because I think they wanted Aja Wilson, who is a black female, to get her shoe out first. I don't understand why these companies hate money right now because my daughter would have Caitlyn Clark shoes on her feet right now if they were out there to buy. Because she appreciates her. She respects her. But Caitlyn Clark is not in this business to solve the culture of woke and DEI, and we cannot live happy lives constantly putting entertainers and putting athletes to our test and our standards when that's not the business they're in, and just write off everything that they've done to contribute to entertainment, to society, to culture, whatever. This is not a harmful statement. What she said is not a harmful statement. She did not set white people or black people or female basketball players back at all by this. And when she gets back on the court, she's going to continue to elevate all of the things that people have liked about Caitlyn Clark. Number one being, she's an amazing basketball player. We are unburdened by what has been in the culture wars of years gone by because Donald Trump just won the election. Those days are over. We don't have to be miserable because somebody somewhere that we will never meet, that will never have some sort of actual real impact outside of the fact that it's going to be amazing to watch her continue to do work on the basketball floor over and over again. That is the service she provides us. We don't have to be miserable in people not measuring up to our side of the woke, anti-woke culture all the time. It is a miserable place to be. Unburden yourself by that. You guys could completely disagree with me. I don't know. But I just think that we, on our side of this DEI woke issue, we're so much the beat dog that the second something comes by, we feel like we got to lash out and lash back, and we don't have to do it.
I thought her comments were unfortunate. I also, though, immediately went, man, she's just trying to get out of this place that she's in.
And she's not going to.
She's not going to. And Scott Jennings is right. The more you do it, the more people are going to demand it from you. So I loathe to think what's coming of asking her to continue to make these statements and ask her to follow up on what you just said, because she's obviously she's ignited something again. I just wish that she would say, look, I'm here to play basketball.
Yeah.
Like, don't comment on it at all.
That's what she has been saying.
Yeah.
That's what she's been saying up to this point. And she gets named, she's the white girl on the Time Athlete of the Year. You know, like, duh, of course she is. Of course she's that. And then she gets put in this position where she gets asked these questions again. She wasn't on Team USA.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
What she is up against, what she doesn't need is us to go, well, that wasn't anti-woke enough. I quit supporting you. This does not qualify.
She had done such a good job of staying out of it. That's what's unfortunate.
She's staying out of it. She is an athlete, not an activist, and her track record shows that. She just wants to play basketball, and the only reason we've ever heard anything about this, because you haven't heard anything about her say anything about any of this in anything leading up to this point in her entire run through college into the WNBA and all the success she's had. You don't hear about it until she's Times Athlete of the Year, and the Times article asks her, and she does an interview. She actually goes into an interview about this because she won this award. She just wants to play basketball, and I have no doubt in my mind that that's where she's at.
And golf.
Okay. But it's such a small phrase. And if we're, as conservatives, if we got upset with LeBron James and we wanted him to, quote unquote, shut up and dribble, if that's what we want from our athletes, then we can't be out there expecting our other athletes that we wanted to be on our side or whatever, somebody out there just balling, to start quoting their own and championing your cause just because it's your cause. Either you want your athletes to be athletes or you want your athletes to be activists. Just let them be athletes.
Phenom says woke just needs to go away. I feel she's between a rock and a hard place. I do too. Chris says, sorry, Annie, I do disagree with you. She bent the knee. I see a lot of that bent the knee stuff. I completely disagree with that. And I don't, I have a feeling that there are more people listening to me right now who think I'm super wrong on this. So it'd be easy for me to not say it, but I'm not going to not say it.
No, it's okay.
I want to push back on it, and some people, what I want to do, what you do not need, is I want to give you permission to not care, to not feel like I guess I can't like Caitlyn Clark now. That's ridiculous.
It doesn't matter.
We got to go we're so far past the break. Sorry. Do you have more to say?
Not really. I mean, I was disappointed to see it because it looks like caving to pressure because she had never said anything up until now. So
being disappointed in it, and I understand that. And I kind of feel the same. Like, oh, you did it.
Yeah,
you went
exactly.
there. Being disappointed and saying, I will no longer support her because she bent the knee, those are two different things.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back with the other important news of the day was Thomas Whitmore of Independence Day, Republican president.
Yeah, we're just getting to this now.
Or a Democrat president. We had to lead up to it to make sure that we had,
And the movie came out in 1994.
Yes, so it's time.
We got to get to it.
We'll be right back. AirComfortService.com. You can reach out to them very simply at that website, and you can learn about many of the services that they have. Of course, if it's Air Comfort Service and I say HVAC, you're thinking heating and air conditioning, but they have a lot more than that. And right now, there's a really, really great opportunity for you to save when you utilize their services. If you replace your entire HVAC system, you can get for free either attic insulation or an air scrubber. Let me talk to y'all who are having allergy concerns right now at home. If you have allergies and you're suffering even when you're inside your house, an Air Comfort air scrubber can improve your indoor air quality in a really measurable way by removing up to 99% of surface and airborne contaminants. That is a dramatic improvement on the air that you're breathing in your home. Get rid of those allergy symptoms that you've been dealing with that new HVAC system from Air Comfort Service, and choose between having that attic insulation or air scrubber installed for free. Reach out to Air Comfort Service by calling them at 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091. You can also find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows. Parker McCollum, Chaffetz Arena, February 14th. Thomas Rhett, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, May 29th. Rod Stewart, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, August 15th. Goo Goo Dolls, St. Louis Music Park, August 21st. And Lincoln Park, Enterprise Center, August 23rd.
For tickets and info, hit up livenation.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Give the gift of comfort this holiday season with routine HVAC service included in a preferred partner plan starting at only $19 a month. To gift comfort year-round, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Triton Exteriors, specifically my friend Tim Nesbitt, who is the owner. He is from the customer service business, 20 years in the restaurant business. So the answer is yes. What's the question? Anything you need. Hospitality, personal service. We're upscale. We're a James Hardy company. Roofing and siding and gutters and great value. Tim just texted me and he beat the next closest bid by $15,000 just this week. You can call 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Beast Plumbing, and when it comes to the quality of your water, it is so important, not just for the taste, but for when you wash your clothes or even your hair or your skin, and bad water can affect all of your appliances. Call them today at 314-500-LEAK. That's Beast Plumbing.
Are
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Worried about what you're going to get your friends for Christmas? It's time to win a Cardinals ticket pack giveaway. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. If you're worried about the state of the economy, you will win a opening day ticket pack. This is 8 games, you guys. This is a big ticket pack. We saved the best one for last here on Friday.
Ender
Be the
says,
13th.
fantastic Forrest Gump
Thank
impression.
you. Thank you very much. What did he say?
Fantastic
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, obviously.
Thank you very much. 13th caller at 314-241-9797. Opening day ticket pack for the Cardinals. 8 games on the line. It is $239, almost $240 now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. For all the times that you rain on my parade, and all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I
This is the Annie Fry Show.
And I didn't want to write a song, cause I didn't want.
Well, we have 2 conversations to have before we wrap up this show. The first one is about President Thomas Whitmore from Independence Day, one of America's greatest presidents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He led us through really what was our toughest hour.
We might need him back. We've got things going on.
Not just our Independence Day.
Don't you feel like the beginning of Independence Day when stuff was starting to happen that they were doing exactly what we're doing right now?
I don't know what that means.
With the drones.
No, I don't remember. Tell me what happens at the beginning of the movie. I don't remember.
Everyone's like, hey, there are things in the sky. This seems like a problem. And then morons are running to the top of buildings that get blown up later. It's probably not going to happen now. Probably not.
Government aides aren't telling the president the whole truth.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm going to have to go back and watch this.
I have a feeling we're spurring a lot of people to watch Independence Day this weekend.
Yeah.
Regardless, was President Thomas Whitmore, Bill Pullman's character, was he a Republican or a Democrat? Is it obvious to you?
I remember watching the movie and wondering which party he was from, which suggests to me that he's probably a Republican because he didn't wear his convictions on his sleeve.
He wasn't worried about how the aliens would affect the climate?
You know what? That, to me, though, that's projecting current Democrats onto 90s Democrats.
Well, Goldblum's character is all worried about the
Yeah,
environment.
he is.
Yeah, and so I'm not saying that didn't exist, but I think there are, in 1994, if you watched a movie and there was not subtle, even now, if you watch a movie and there's not subtle hints as to which party somebody is and it's a political thing,
they're Republican.
They're probably Republican.
They're moderate Republican.
Well,
because
right.
That's the only good
Right.
kind.
I would say Jeff Goldblum's character is a liberal in that movie.
For sure.
And he gets very upset when his wife goes to work for Whitmore's association and campaign, and they end up getting a divorce over it.
My gosh, I don't remember any of this.
They didn't get divorced over policy, Brad.
Are you sure?
Yes!
That seems like a real side note to that movie that I do not remember.
They had policy disagreements, but they didn't get divorced over the fact that she wasn't green enough. She spent all her time on the campaign with him, and he suspected they were having an affair.
Was that maybe in the special features where they went through all the divorce proceedings?
But they never talked about policy, but I mean, come on. How long is a liberal going to stay with his wife if she's working for the other side?
Can you imagine the 90s, the credit scenes at the end? It's their
They're arguing.
proceeding.
They cut a good 30 minutes out of that movie.
No, it's too bad.
It was just paperwork.
And they put them all in Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah.
But nobody knows because
Right.
nobody thought it was
Right.
terrible. All right, so I Googled this, and I didn't find the thread. The thread that I thought was on Reddit was actually on a message board that is publicly accessible called Tiger Droppings.
Okay.
But it's an LSU affiliated thing.
Okay.
So they're
Message
dropping
board.
information.
Yes, and their LSU Tigers.
But regardless, this is on a message board, and the question posed to the message board was unanswerable question: what party did Thomas J. Whitmore belong to? So I'm just going to read to you some of the things that they collected, some of the information that they collected, that the president who gives the "Today we celebrate our Independence Day" speech, right after the guy says, "I'm a pilot, I can fly." Then we hear this wonderful patriotic speech, and they save the world. Is this guy Republican or Democrat? Because I do think it matters, and we should have talked about this almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's high time we catch up.
30 years ago.
30 years ago.
1996 is when.
Oh, 96?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I kept saying 94. Okay.
Yeah, you were prescient in that regard. First comment says.
I was precious, is what you said.
Prescient. Don't get confused. Wasn't he from California? Democrat. And that's okay. It's a movie.
So was Reagan.
Well, go on. The next one says, I must have missed the part where it stated he's from California. I've always taken him to be a New York Rockefeller Republican.
Okay.
Another one says, if anything, he's having trouble with the polls in California. That lends more credence to him being a Republican. A comment says, I thought his wife was doing an event in their home state when the invasion hit. I may have been incorrect, because they were separated.
Mhm.
They weren't
Yeah.
at the same place. That's when he calls her and says he's laying next to a beautiful blonde, which is their like adorable 4-year-old girl.
Right.
Who went on to be one, May, I think was her name, or maybe that's her real name. May. The little girl in Independence Day went on to be one of the main characters in Parenthood, the show, which was widely successful. She's done a lot of things since then. So the suggestion that they're from California lends some people to just automatically default that they are Democrats, but the thought that he's having trouble with support because they're talking about in Independence Day when he's reading the papers and they're watching the news and stuff, they're not really too happy for him. Somebody says also the foxy black stripper, quote, voted for the other guy. So I'd say he's likely a Republican. Is that fair?
Who voted for the other guy?
Vivica A. Fox.
Oh, yeah.
When she's helping the first lady in the wreckage at...
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This person posted, he was definitely Republican given a few context clues. Number one, he's a war hero.
Okay.
Number two, his Secretary of Defense is clearly an establishment neocon, who's the a-hole of the thing where at the end where he's like, you're fired. And he's like, you can't do that. And then she says, oh, he just did.
That's right.
You remember that?
Wasn't the first lady in that movie?
Oh, wait, that's not the Secretary of Defense is the good guy. The other guy, he's like the maybe CIA guy. He's the one who says plausible deniability.
Yeah.
The Secretary of Defense is the one who says to Will Smith that whole place, hasn't anyone told you this whole place has been destroyed? Do you remember that?
Not really.
He's always wearing the military.
Okay.
That's the Secretary of Defense. I got that confused. Third one is his closest friend / advisor is part of the military establishment. The fourth one is the stripper from California, quote, voted for the other guy. And the fifth one says he was disliked by the establishment media. So they show a bunch of different places, especially at the beginning, where the media is really kind of crapping on him. And another person says media didn't like him, was in the military, probably a Republican if I had to guess. Also, there's a brief moment where the lady on television says the American people elected a warrior and got a wimp. The media was trashing on him. And then the last comment I highlighted was regarding the sequel. Did you guys see Independence Day?
Mm-hmm. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
They said it makes Caddyshack 2 seem like The Empire Strikes Back.
When did that one come out?
2000.
And was anybody in it?
Well, a lot of them were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were all back in it.
Oh, really?
I was so excited to see that movie, and midway, I was like raging mad at how bad it was.
Okay, Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman are both in that movie.
And so is Jeff Goldblum's father. He's
and Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah. And she's a doctor this time.
Somebody said that somebody commented about how people are suggesting that the stripper would be a Democrat And they're like, but she goes on to be a doctor and wealthy, and maybe she doesn't want high taxes, so maybe she was a Republican all along. I don't know.
Well, people switch parties.
Yeah, all the time.
So,
Republican or Democrat? What do you think?
I think Republican. Yeah, I would have said Republican before hearing all of those little nuggets.
Mostly because they didn't say that he was a Democrat.
Mostly, and because that movie is very patriotic. I know they're saying that it's Independence Day for the world and all that, and that's very globalist.
But America saves the world.
But it's an American movie. It's a very American-centered, like American bravado movie, and that seems like a very 90s kind of
It's a very
Republican
Maverick-like movie where it's just an amazing story with characters who are from all walks of life, doing all sorts of things, that love their country and love a greater cause and are willing to fight for it and win in the end.
Remember when Data is in that room and the alien speaking through him? And the alien...
Release me.
Yeah, release me. And then they're like,
Is
what
that
do you want
glass
from us? And he's
bulletproof?
like, die. I'm like, oh no, that's so scary.
And
When
then
I was
Bill-
14.
Bill Pullman says, I saw his thoughts. And then he says, let's nuke the B words.
Ooh, he does?
Yeah.
Can I watch it with my kids now?
Yeah.
You think they're going to be scared by the aliens, though? I do.
Just emphasize that he was a Republican president.
Okay.
And everything is going to be okay.
Kids, don't worry about
Yeah.
this. The
It's just like,
Republicans are in charge.
Bill Pullman, Donald Trump, same guy. Totally. Everything's fine.
I just want you to know, President Whitmore, right after the end of this movie, son, he drains the swamp.
He had to. It was contaminated with alien goo.
Brings the world together.
Is there a better scene than the wreckage after Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum are strutting with their cigars with the fireworks in the air because all the alien ships and all their little drones that are now over New Jersey, they're all just like blowing up in the background.
Yeah. Man, the scene that when they blow up the White House, I remember being like,
Ugh.
how dare they? That's not okay.
Yeah.
We need to kill them.
I don't like that scene. There's also, what's the movie? Is it like The Day After Tomorrow or something where the Statue of Liberty was part of the main scene?
yeah.
The Statue of Liberty is turned over in the water.
Yeah. That was because of climate change, though.
Planet of the Apes.
How was the president in that one? Probably a Republican. That's why it all happened.
I don't remember. John Cusack's in that movie, isn't he? Day
Yeah.
After Tomorrow?
Tracks.
It's all that movie is great to watch now and watch how ridiculous.
Is it a comedy now?
It was borderline comedy when it came out.
Speaking of movies, our YouTube live chat poll for today, which of the cast's favorite Christmas movies is the best? Should we come clean on whose video is who here while we get close to Ethan giving us the results?
I think we should wait till 2:51.
2:51. How about now?
Okay, now, yeah. Let's do it.
Ethan, why don't you set this poll up for us? You've kind of outed yourself already here in taking great offense to Doug earlier, who said that Christmas Story was trash.
Yeah, Doug, what the heck, man? Low blow, guy. Which of the cast's favorite Christmas movies is the best? We've got over 250 votes so far, so get your votes in here these final couple of minutes.
Why don't you advocate for A Christmas Story, which I have never seen before?
So
tell me why I should see it.
It's a classic. I mean, I think that like there are, a handful of Christmas movies. I think that if you're a fan of the Christmas season, which most people I feel like are, you need to have at least watched them once, and I think all four of these movies fit into that. I think that A Christmas Story is worthy of at least watching once. If you are a fan of if you're a fan of funny, then it works there.
Do you think if for somebody who is watching it for the first time, i.e. me potentially this weekend with my kids, are my kids going to enjoy it still? Would I enjoy it still? It's the first time in 2024.
It is one that I grew up on it, but I would say the older I've gotten, the more I've grown to appreciate it. Like I always thought it was a good movie, but the more you start to get of like some of the references, I wouldn't say it's inappropriate. There's definitely there's a couple of scenes where
I watched Austin Powers with my older two kids.
Yeah,
earlier.
they'll be fine. They'll be
fine.
totally fine.
Are there any of the movies on this list, Ethan, that you don't like?
No.
Have you seen them all?
I think that all these movies are great. I think that I would say that especially with It's a Wonderful Life. That's another one where the older I've gotten, the more I've grown to appreciate it. Actually, growing up, I was like, oh my gosh, this movie's so boring. Black and white. Put me to sleep. Like, let me go play my PlayStation 2.
And now when he says the richest man in town, you're like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
he gets his wings.
Yep.
It's just so sweet.
Fun fact,
Yep.
the boob guns from Austin Power were actually inspired by A Christmas Story.
She'll say the melon guns.
Man,
sorry.
the audible facepalm from Brad was
Yeah.
right on the mark.
No,
You're
that's
doing so well.
It was in the scene where the brother is driving the blimp and he goes, "Hey, a Zeppelin!"
I've never seen it, so I don't know what you're talking about or if you're joking. So, Ryan, of these videos, these Christmas movie classics, which one's yours? And do you think that it holds up now the way it did when it was originally made?
I do. Home Alone is mine. My brother, who's 8 years younger than me, would watch Home Alone almost every day in the summers when he's quite a bit younger than me. He would just watch it. So I know it line by line. And now my kids do that to an extent
It's
at
still
Christmas
funny.
time. It's still an enjoyable movie.
My kids have a lot of questions because technology just doesn't allow for Home Alone to be made in 2024. But it is still fun to look back on. Are any of these movies that aren't yours, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, or It's a Wonderful Life, bad movies in your mind?
No, I like all these movies.
What about you, Brad?
My movie was Christmas Vacation because I think it's a great story. It's about a dad trying to create Christmas memories and having a great Christmas, not just for his kids, but for his whole family. And then it's surrounded by comedy, which is one of my favorite things.
I started to say when I was putting this together at home, my son is homesick today, and I said, Christmas Vacation. I go, I don't know. I said, because I watched it last year for the first time, and I liked it way more than I thought I was going to like it. Just in the same way Christmas Story, I'll watch this year. Die Hard, I watched last year for the first time. I guess this year it's A Christmas Story. But I'm like, Christmas Vacation, like, the movie is so stressful. Like, the whole movie is so stressful. And then I'm like, well, mine's It's a Wonderful Life. So I don't know that I can actually make that point on the air and have it stand on its own 2 feet. I guess it's a little different because Christmas Vacation is a very stressful comedy versus It's a Wonderful Life, which is a stressful kind of, would you say drama, I guess?
Yeah, drama
is what it would be. We'll play this here real quick. Which is the clip here that you said a listener sent in? Is it in What I Missed? Or what?
Oh, yeah, it was What I Missed. It is the last one from Farmington.
James had some thoughts on It's a Wonderful Life.
You have it all wrong. It's a Wonderful Life is the worst Christmas movie ever. Turner Classic Movies bought it for like $17, and they show it every year nonstop.
Yeah.
That's why people think they like it.
No.
The only award it ever won was the fake snowfall in the movie. It's a horrible movie.
All right, James, everybody's wrong once in a while. But when they filmed that whole movie, it was like blazing hot. And the snow like is not actual snow or whatever, but people were miserably hot filming that movie when it was going on. I, for one, have never really relied on the awards people who are bought and paid for to be like, this is what you like and this is what you don't like. I think they get it wrong a lot. And yes, it was a complete and total flop when it was first put out there. But people have come to know it as a classic. I am one of them. I love it. I love the story. And it is amazing when they say the richest man in town.
261 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Which of the cast's favorite Christmas movies is the best? Well, the majority still agree with you, Annie. 36% say It's a Wonderful Life. Silver medal to Christmas Vacation, 31%. Hey, I'll take the bronze. Christmas Story, 20%. And Home Alone at 13%.
Three of four of these will be
bad.
watched every holiday in my house, and A Christmas Story for the first time. And I will give you a report, Ethan, and tell you how I like it. We're going to watch it this weekend.
Sounds good.
Mark Reardon, coming up next.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan. And the bagel loan is the way you get your mortgage, but don't pay any closing costs that everybody else out there in the mortgage industry is going to end up charging you for. And that can add up to thousands of dollars on that transaction to get your new mortgage. Now, it could be a brand new mortgage. It could also be a mortgage refinance. Either way, why would you pay more than you have to when it comes to securing that mortgage? You can use this as an opportunity to refinance. You can use it as an opportunity to do a cash out refinance where maybe you take some of that equity that has been built up in your home and pay off some credit card debt. You can use it as an opportunity to potentially lower your interest rate. If you've gotten your mortgage in the last 18 months, 2 years or so, chances are rates are down measurably from where they were before. Use the bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage to get that lower rate. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You could Google the bagel loan at MLS number 226715.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out your eye